Thursday, partly sunny and a high of plus 14. And then Friday, sunshine and a high of plus 18.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Smoke'em Diesel in Regina. So you want to do it yourself? No problem. We sell injection pumps, injectors, and turbos to fit all your needs. Find us on Facebook today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage. Appreciate you taking the time on this Monday afternoon. I'm Tegan Whitco, your host, joined alongside Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders, and our resident Star Wars fan, Colson Schultz. He's manning the controls in the studio here, keeping us on the air at 620 CKRM, on the stream as well, on X, YouTube, sportscage.com. I was waiting to see how long it took today for someone to make a May the 4th joke and leave it up to Colson.
Colson the guy.
It's not a joke. It's a way of life.
Is it a way of life?
For some people, not for me. I appreciate it. I don't appreciate what Disney's done, but we can leave that there.
Oh, now we're getting controversial.
Did I just hear this right?
For 2 minutes into the show.
Did Colson just say, I hate Mickey Mouse? Is that what I heard him say?
He's more of a goofy guy.
No, that is not what I said.
That's not what you said?
Okay, fair enough.
We want the stream to continue airing online, so we should be careful about what we say here. But yes, it's May the 4th. Thanks for being here. Last time Dave and I were here with you. That was last Monday, and a little bit has transpired in the CFL since then, so we have plenty to discuss today, especially with some of our guests who I'm really looking forward to chatting with to get their take on everything that transpired on CFL Draft Day. Wasn't just players being selected, so obviously we're going to talk about the CFL playoff format change, among many other things. We'll get some grades on how we feel the Riders did in the draft. So joining us to do that, Wes Cates is going to be in studio, so we're going to talk training camp with him as well. That's just after 4 o'clock. Darian Durant, as always, joins us after 5. So we're going to talk to him about some of these playoff format changes as well. This season going to be shifting up a little bit earlier, starting May long. Curtis Hunt, he's also going to be on the program today. Big weekend for them.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Prince Albert Raiders, Eastern Conference champions. Did you have a chance to watch any of that?
You know, I caught a little bit of it, actually. I did catch a little piece. And I was shocked when I was like, did I, miss something? Are they putting the shots up instead of the goals or something? How is this happening? But yeah, it was exciting. And I give the Prince Albert Raiders full marks because I think they had a little bit of pressure on them after Game 3.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll dive into that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because, they are off to the finals, which start Friday, Saturday in Everett.
Friday, Saturday in Everett, then Games 3, 4, 5 back in PA, Games 6, 7 in Everett. Because have you heard of the Western Hockey League charter for the final?
No.
It's pretty cool. So I've had an opportunity to be on it a couple of times. And so what happens is at the front of the plane is one team. So in this instance, it's probably going to be Everett. In the middle are all the media and league personnel. And then at the back will be the other team, which will be the Prince Albert Raiders. So
they have to divide them, separate them?
Oh, yeah, they separate them. Absolutely. So it is bizarro world and then some. Just because, again, the players don't talk to each other. It's a very unique thing. And so, of course, PA will fly out to Everett. The two teams will fly back to PA together. They'll go back to Everett then again if necessary.
I'm sure there wouldn't be any trash talking if you sat them side by each.
Well, they actually load the planes from the back and front too, right? So they don't even walk by each other.
Oh, okay.
It is something else.
It's smart.
It's almost back to the old school days, again, when the Western Hockey League used to have 2 different warm-ups so the 2 teams wouldn't be on the ice at the same time. Those were the days.
No, we want them to get fired up. Come on.
Oh, yeah, they wanted them to get fired up. It was just, they were fired up too much.
I guess that's fair. We do also have another special guest that'll be joining us to talk about flag football. Football heavy show today. Joel Lipinski, he is actually from Saskatchewan, and he is the defensive coordinator for the Canada men's national team. They had a selection camp over in Winnipeg over the weekend, so we'll check in with him and see how that went.
I've got a little bit of a bone to pick with Mr. Lipinski. I'll get to that a little bit later.
Ooh, we're getting fiery today.
We are. You have no idea the amount of upset that this has rankled my world with.
Oh, no. Rankled?
Yep.
Is that a word?
It is certainly on this Monday.
Okay.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh,
I was going to say that
man.
I'm the one in hot water.
You can join the show at any point. Text us on the Prairie Land Rentals text line 306-936-6262. So if maybe you have a question for any of our guests or you just want to join in the conversation with us, you're welcome to do that. Prairie Land Rentals, from small power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need. And you can deal directly with the owner at 600 Albert Street here in Regina. So yeah, full show today. 1 month until the CFL season kicks off, which is wild to think. How many days?
Till the CFL season kicks off?
Yeah.
I don't know that answer.
What? I stumped you. You're like an advent calendar guy. I was expecting you to have that number ready to go.
I can tell you we're 14 days away from the Riders' first preseason game.
Okay.
I can tell you that we are 19 days away from their second preseason game. I can tell you, if you really want to know, that we're looking at 40 days away from their home opener, June the 13th.
Because they have that back-to-back bye.
Basically, yes.
That's going to be so strange.
It'll be an interesting time, because really the last week, albeit a bye week, isn't really a bye week. Do you know what I mean? Like, because training camp will continue, albeit here in Regina, the 24th to the 31st. Technically, the team will be moving back to Regina from Saskatoon on the 24th. But again, you don't have to announce your final cuts until that weekend. So there's still going to be work to do, even though there's no games to be played for 2 weeks.
If anything, it's going to help out football ops if they have difficult decisions to make.
Will it or won't it? Because wouldn't you want to see them play a little bit more after they have a greater understanding of the playbook? And they being the athletes that may be on the bubble? Wouldn't you want to see that?
That's a good point.
Like,
At least no knee-jerk reaction decisions.
No, and also we should mention that this isn't a foreign concept, right? Like, I was talking with Corey Mace about it a little bit, and Coach just said, we did it in 2024. Like, we know what we're doing. We know what to expect. We've got a game plan and a blueprint on how we're going to execute training camp so that we're smart, keeping everybody healthy. We get a good evaluation, and most importantly, we get everybody prepped for June the 13th.
Saskatoon is going to be bumping until then as training camp opens up later on this week, and the Riders have been busy. A number of press releases coming out today announcing some additions to the squad, right? So they added American long snapper Reed Hughes, national defensive back Billy Jonas Pernier, American defensive lineman Nathan Pickering, national defensive back, and a name that will be very familiar with much of Rider Nation, Carson Sombach. He's been invited as well.
Very interesting. Going to give the local guy a shot. And again, this isn't a charity move, in my opinion.
No.
This is a well-deserved opportunity that he has.
There is a lot of football talent in that family.
Yep, there is.
They also invited the following players to training camp, and you're going to recognize some of these names. Regina Thunder, Saskatoon Hilltops players. So you have Peter Borsch running back with the Regina Thunder and had an incredible 2025 season. So I'm interested to see what he can do up there. National running back Corbin Eben of the Saskatoon Hilltops also invited. National receiver Benjamin Walls of the Regina Thunder. And then for the CFL quarterback internship program, they're inviting national QB Jake Farrell from the University of Saskatchewan to join them up at training camp. So it's going to be a packed house. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. And I know, Dave, you're going to be heading up there right away.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be on the road tomorrow so that we will be doing the Sportscage again from Saskatoon. We've got all the insights. All the players are going to be coming to join us. It should be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that it will be by the time that we get there. So.
Yeah, a lot of new names, a lot of new faces, and lots to learn, that's for sure. So we will...
Not to mention, Tegan 5...
Did you call me Keegan?
No, I kind of did, but I didn't, and I then wanted to correct it in case you misheard it. So
you're good. What did you want to add? I'm sorry to interrupt.
The Riders did sign 5 of their 8 draft picks today as well, right? So
yes,
that's a big deal. Their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7th round picks. So that's good news. Again, we'll wait and see how they all shake out, but they'll be in camp, and there's again good news there.
A lot of traffic to and from Regina and Saskatoon over the next couple of weeks here. Highway 11 is going to be busy.
Yes, it will be.
Well, the Monday edition of the Sports Cage is also brought to you by Smokem Diesel. So if you're a fix-it-yourself type of person, Smokem Diesel, they can supply you with injectors, injection pumps, turbos, all diesel hard parts. Genuine OEM replacement diesel parts. They do not sell junk. So we are going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes as we get our next guest on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline, Joel Lipinski, Canada Men's National Flag Football Defensive Coordinator. He's going to chat with us about what transpired this weekend. So hang tight. We'll be right back. It's the Sports Cage on the home of local sports on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at SaskAgToday.com. Saskatchewan Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
They've hired me to sell you Cooper tires. Presumably, I imagine it's because I sound important, which reflects rather well on the tires, doesn't it?
When your vehicle needs the right tires, see your local Cooper tire dealer. They carry Cooper Discoverer Road and Trail AT tires. They have a durable tread that helps resist cutting, cracking, and tearing that occurs on rough trails. Have your vehicle ready for the road before you are.
Visit your local Cooper tire dealer today, obviously.
If you've been putting up with cold showers and hard water that makes everything feel like more work, stop waiting. Reliance Heat makes it easy. Rent a water heater and a water softener starting at about $1.20 a day and get $400. That means hot water when you need it and water that just works better. No big upfront costs, no hassles. Visit waterheaterrentals.com to get the offer.
Call on Reliance.
Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
You can feel it. The snow's gone, the sun's out, and you're ready to get back outside. Hi, I'm Sean from the Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. This is when everything starts coming back to life. Firing up the sprinklers, cleaning up the beds, adding those finishing touches you've been thinking about. That's what our spring startup event is all about. It gets your yard going again and makes it feel like yours. The spring startup sale is on now until May 9th. Stop by and we'll help you get set up. Great projects start at the Shovel. The Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. 2 green thumbs up.
If it's happening in sports in Saskatchewan, we've got it covered on Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. On your radio at 620 CKRM and online at sportscage.com.
It's Tegan Whitco, Dave Thomas, Colson Schultz here with you. Sportscage studio in downtown Regina. Today's show brought to you by Smoke 'Em Diesel. So, before we get to our next guest here and we jump out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline, we did get a message here, 306-936-6262. It's from Brian Gawley, big supporter of the program. He wanted us to make sure that we gave a little shout out here to Carlene from Wapella, longtime listener. And I believe that there was a birthday involved, or was Colson lying to me? No, maybe just Carlene from Wapella. Okay, so we wanted to give her a little shout out here. You can join in the conversation anytime, too.
There you go. Hi, Carlene.
306-936-6262. But right now, Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Let's head out here and chat with our first guest of the afternoon, Joel Lipinski. He's the defensive coordinator for Canada's men's national flag football team representing Saskatchewan. How'd the weekend go, Joel?
Hi, Tegan. No, it went really well. Just driving back from Winnipeg right now, about 10 kilometers outside of Regina. No, the weekend was awesome. Much better weather than we're having right now here. For sure.
So, big selection camp at Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg. How many people turned up for that?
We ended up having 38 athletes this year. Again, coming back in, we had athletes try out from all across Canada through the ID camp. So, again, probably from about 200 athletes narrowed it down to those 38. And again, that's building off that 18 that we already had prior to last year. So, again, we kind of very selective in terms of who was kind of brought in from the ID camps. And then, again, it was a very competitive camp this year with the 38 that we ended up having. So it was very productive. The Lump Bombers were outstanding, opened up the full stadium to us. And, again, we had all the meeting rooms, all the locker rooms, and it was a very professionally ran and very fun camp.
Say what you want about the Bombers, but they are a hospitable bunch.
Well, they let us bring a trophy home from there the last time I was there, so I would agree. Joel, what were you looking for this weekend, and did you find it?
Yeah, no, I think, obviously as we kind of get ready for the first Olympic qualifier here going down in August, this was kind of like the next part in our process to kind of take the team that we had last year, and again, just seeing what kind of aspects we could kind of improve upon. And so, from that, with the IOC, how they kind of end up setting the process up from a selection, we have to have these national ID camps, and again, from those national ID camps, again, the team has to be selected again every single year, so every athlete has to come back in and compete for their spot again. So this was that final culmination to select the team that is going to take us through as we go down to the Olympic training centers and again into our friendlies with different countries, and then again culminating in the World Championships in August. So it's just kind of like, again, picking up, was there small aspects in which we could continue to improve on from a systems and a player standpoint, and I think we accomplished both of those.
Joel, you have donated a lot of your time, and I say donate because you volunteer a ton of your time when it comes to coaching football, both tackle and flag. But in your experience, where is the flag football IQ at in our country, as it is such a different sport from tackle?
Yes and no. There's obviously a ton of parallels that transfer over from that skill player component. So again, whether it's the quarterback play, wide receiver, and defensive back play, obviously a lot of those skill sets transfer over. I think a lot of it, again, does come down to some of the coaching pieces where, again, once you kind of get into that IFAF aspect and the nuances of the rules, even again, you have 7-on-7 flag that's different than 5-on-5 flag, and then there's multiple versions of the 5-on-5 flag. So I think when you start getting into the IFAF rules and the, again, specifics with those, I think it just takes a little bit of time for some of those skill sets to transfer. But I think those skill sets are still obviously paramount. Again, an athlete who can run a great route is still going to be transfer over in the tackle game and into the flag game. Obviously tackling, just kind of again, getting used to actually going for the flags. But it's interesting having some of the tackle athletes come into us with this last year. And again, there is obviously that learning curve. However, it is just kind of making sure, okay, hey, these elements of physicality are allowed, these elements are not. And again, some athletes are just able to pick up those nuances differently. However, there are obviously a lot of transferability of skills.
So we are getting closer and closer to flag football being on that Olympic stage. Have you noticed that intensify camps like this?
Oh, drastically. And then again, it's just interesting, just the amount of, any level of sport, as more eyes get onto it, and again, more people end up, getting interested in it. Obviously, there's a lot more opinions that come along with that, but again, what the benefit of that is, though, that, there's a lot more interest from everyone. So again, we ended up having even some of our, through Football Canada, we ended up holding coaching clinics, and I think I spoke in front of 240, 250 coaches all across Canada just about, okay, these are the nuances of football and how do we end up, again, kind of making the community of football better in Canada as we kind of grow up some of those nuances. And again, the same thing from a player perspective. Now you have so many players who've kind of grown up within the tackle game who are, again, now becoming interested in the flag game more and more so here too. Even if you look at Saskatchewan, all the flag leagues run out of Regina and Saskatoon. It's honestly, it's phenomenal in terms of the interest level and how flag has just been exploding over the past 5 to 7 years.
Perhaps to provide some background, Joel Lipinski, when you are not the defensive coordinator for Canada's national men's flag football team, you also are instrumental in the success of Ignite Athletics in Saskatoon. You ask any CFL athlete that's trained with you, and they are very quick to point out and praise you for what you have been able to do to maximize their performance levels. So keeping that in mind, how do you maximize the performance level of a flag football athlete as compared to a tackle football athlete, a baseball player? What is the specialized training, or is that maybe a secret that I shouldn't have asked?
No, obviously I'm also Football Canada's strength and conditioning coach as well, obviously with one of the co-owners of Ignite Athletics, and then also one of the strength and conditioning coaches at the University of Saskatchewan. So that is kind of what I've been tasked to do. And so, again, through this process and through our selection ID camp, again, we've kind of tested all of these flag players through a lot of their, what we call their key performance indicators. And again, I've been using a lot of the data through the Canadian Football League, the National Football League, using similar metrics and, again, similar testing apparatuses and mediums, and trying to figure out what certainly is the difference between what makes a great machine learning, different statistical analysis to try and tell, again, Football Canada and then also the IOC and our Canadian Olympic Committee, okay, hey, this is what we're looking for and what actually makes a great male and female football flag athlete. So, again, still working at it. I'm probably at about 65% of the way there, and hopefully I'll have a higher percentage point to let you guys know exactly what it is that makes a dominant flag football player in the coming months here.
The goal is always bigger, stronger, faster for most football athletes in the off season. You just went through all the different metrics and all the different data that's available. Does it become overwhelming at some points? Because end of the day, performance is performance, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's like, again, it's one of those things within just any sort of skill-based sport, right? You could have, even last year when we had some athletes who were on the Canadian track team, you have these athletes who are putting up some insane metrics, but again, if you can't catch a football, it's not necessarily going to transfer over into the sport. So again, there are some obviously skill components, and then again, IQ components that come into that are intangibles. And so again, where can you kind of end up? What are some quantitative metrics in which you can control? And again, you almost have to create like standards, right? So again, it's one thing if an athlete runs like a 5.340 and it has a massively high IQ, but again, that athlete still isn't going to be able to get necessarily open in man-to-man. So again, what's the minimum threshold that the athlete needs to be able to have from a speed component, from an agility component, that now they can at least be in the consideration now to be able to be on the field at an elite level, and that's kind of the dynamics of what you end up going back on. And then you also mentioned with football, with tackle football, it's like that bigger, faster, stronger. Well, it's if you're 240 pounds, you start getting into momentum calcs where, again, it's going to be great for tackling somebody, but in flag, again, with very little contact, it's one of those things, stature and height matter. However, your weight actually isn't a KPI at all, which is, again, just another small nuanced difference.
So I know this is going to sound ridiculous, and I don't know how to qualify it, but if you look at an Olympic athlete, Joel, they talk about they want to reach their peak physical performance the day of their event or when their event begins. When you're training a football athlete, and again, at Ignited Athletics in Saskatoon, you see them from all across the Canadian Football League. When you are working on a training program, when do those athletes want to be in peak performance? Is it for day one of training camp? Is it at a point in the regular season? Do you want it to come at the end of the season? How do you set that up?
Yeah, no, that's kind of, you end up talking to different strength coaches. Some strength coaches will have some different ideologies in terms of that. The thing is, when you're heading into a CFL or NFL training camp, you just have to set the athletes up from a ridiculous amount of volume they're about to sustain for the about 4 or 5 weeks. So again, everything's just kind of how do we just build that resiliency, and how do we build the capacity to make sure the athlete can, one, survive camp, and then two, obviously thrive to an extent that they can end up still making that team. So again, within tackle football especially, it is you want to build, can the athlete give you that repeat sprint ability? So you have a track athlete who ends up, okay, everything's going to culminate. So again, you might have 2 or 3 races before their primary meet or their primary run. So you have maybe 3 to 5 max efforts that, again, this athlete needs to be able to sustain themselves through with a long period of rest in between, whereas a football athlete is going to ideally sprint as fast as they can, or again, conduct their a maximal effort for about 5 to 7 seconds, again, getting probably about a 25-second rest, and then repeat that effort throughout camp more than likely 60 to 140 times. And so how do you end up making sure that athlete, again, can ideally give you that same effort at rep 140 that they gave you at rep 1? Is kind of what you end up building for in the off-season there, too. And track, flag ends up being one of those things where it's okay, we can sometimes play 9 games in a course of a tournament. So how do you, again, from a injury resilience standpoint, ends up being your main KPI? Can this athlete give you a decent effort in the first game, and again, still be able to reproduce at least 95% of that effort by the time you get to game 9?
Joel Lipinski on his way back, literally driving back from Winnipeg in the selection camp that took place over the weekend at Princess Auto Stadium for the Canada Men's National Flag Football Selection Camp. Did we see any Saskatchewan athletes attend the camp this weekend?
Yeah, we had, so again, from our ID camp, we selected 2 Saskatchewan athletes that ended up trying out through the ID camp. And again, as we kind of work our way through the selection process, we'll see if we end up having Saskatchewan athletes on the 12 or the 18 man roster, but that's still yet to be decided here.
So when it comes to those ID camps in the 12 or 18, there's some level of assumption by the general public that when it comes to the Olympic Games that the top 12 athletes from the NFL and the top 12 from the CFL are going to be representing our countries. But then all of a sudden people kind of put on the brakes on that idea when they saw that little NFL showcase down south of the border. Do professionals have a shot, or will they be I don't know if you say favorites to get spots when it comes to Olympic Games, or has that process even been determined yet?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a continued talk with like Football Canada and the Iowa. Again, just kind of the information gathering through that whole process, right? I mean, obviously, again, if you're talking about those Fanatics games here too, yeah, definitely it was, it had all the talks through, Doucette kind of talking, I'm better than Mahomes at these respective things. And again, obviously the uproar that ended up taking place immediately after those tweets and those texts. And then, again, just kind of like, again, it's interesting just watching all the media take place since then and post those Fanatics here too. And again, still having the thought process like significantly divided on both sides in terms of what is the best route in terms of moving forward with the sport and kind of building it in. And like I was kind of mentioning before, there are a lot of transferabilities, but again, a lot of obviously just innate skills that are built over time within the game as well. So, time will still tell.
I am going to apologize, Joel Lipinski, on this a little bit because I do feel somewhat bad asking the question in a public forum as we are in. But truth be told, I've had a little bit of an axe to grind over the last little bit. And I guess this is kind of a true or false question. For folks that don't know, Joel Lipinski and the rest of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies coaching staff allowed me to travel with them for a number of years. And there were some phenomenal, fantastic times and memories made when, of course, you're going across Western Canada with a young football team. But, Joel, I guess the question is, shortly after you came on board, we used to always stop at the Cactus Corner just outside of Hanna, Alberta, on our way to Calgary. And the Cactus Corner has the best homemade Nanaimo bars on the planet Earth. And so I guess the question, true or false, is that we stopped stopping there, instead hitting up a grocery store and encouraged to check out the produce section on the way for more quote-unquote better meals. I was just wondering, Scott Flory said that was all you're doing, canceling the Cactus Corner. Is that true or false?
Plead the fifth here. For sure.
I've held this question for years.
I'll take the blame.
Okay.
Way to throw him under the bus.
Dave. I apologize. When we end up going through Canada next time, I'm going to make sure I have Scott especially stop there, and I'll bring you back.
Done deal. Because they'd always make an appearance in my duffel bag on the way home. Like I was worse than Luke Mullender in Pizza from Ottawa. I would bring home the Nanaimo bars from Hanna, Alberta.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, we have taken up so much of your time already, Joel Lipinski. I really appreciate you doing this, especially as you're on the road coming back home, I'm sure, to pick up your kids from school.
I appreciate you guys. Yeah, obviously, any opportunity to talk to Dave, I'm always done home, and appreciate meeting you here as well, Tegan.
Well, thank you so much, Joel. We'll have to do this again in the future.
All right. Hey, take care, guys.
You as well. Joel Lipinski, of course, joining us. He is the defensive coordinator and does a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Canada men's national flag football. They had a selection camp in Winnipeg over the weekend. So, again, appreciate him taking the time, joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love. Should we take a quick break, come back, talk a little NHL? I think we should do that.
All I've got is celery sticks on my mind when I could be having an Nanaimo bar.
You know what? Here's the other thing. I'm a little bit offended that you call them the best Nanaimo bars in the entire world.
Planet Earth.
You have not tried my mother's.
You know what? I have full
or my baba, for that matter.
I have full appreciation for your mother and your baba, and I would highly encourage a taste test sampling, but...
Oh, I should have got Joel to swing by and grab some, because they all live in Manitoba.
Oh, there you go. I'm just saying, I'm going from experience, and right now, I'm sure there's going to be a number of my family members that
your phone's blowing up.
Text line here, but yeah.
It's going to be a spicy phone when you open it up. Okay, let's take that break. It's the Sports Cage, home of local sports on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
Thinking about tackling your own landscape project this year, but not totally sure where to start? Hi, I'm Sean from the Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. We work with DIY homeowners every day, helping you figure out what to use, how it all goes together, and how to avoid the stuff that can trip you up. Whether it's a patio, artificial turf, sprinklers, or adding some lighting, we'll help you make the right calls. Let's build a plan together. Great projects start at the shovel. The Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. 2 green thumbs up.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. Powered by Prairie Land Rentals. From power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need for your job. 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. Back to Sportscage. Text 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage. I'm Tegan Whitco, joined alongside Dave Thomas and Colson Schultz here in the Sports Cage studio. You can always join in the conversation anytime. Prairie Land Rentals text line is 306-936-6262. We are fighting over Nanaimo bars and who makes the best ones.
I wouldn't say fighting.
Well, I'm offended.
You're offended.
I'm a little offended.
For your mum and your baba?
And my baba.
Wow. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I didn't mean any offense by it.
Yeah, way to start off the week on this note, Dave.
That's
why he's running up to Saskatoon. He's not actually covering training camp. He's just now scared to be.
I'm making a detour to Hannah to pick up some Nanaimo bars.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, we just had Joel Lipinski on.
Yes.
We were talking about Nanaimo bars and stops that they were making. You can always go back and listen to it in podcast form, okay?
It may make more sense that way.
It might. Okay, 2026 NHL Draft Lottery is tomorrow.
Yes.
Who's winning it?
Vancouver Canucks will not.
Well, they have an 18% chance.
They still will not.
So Chicago with a 13.5% chance.
You know, could you... I could see... And again, right? So
if the Leafs win, I'm going to be so upset.
Well...
I'm sorry. No. That is not allowed. That is unacceptable.
I'm booing in conjunction with you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that is unacceptable.
Truthful, not suggesting that you're ever not truthful, but do you buy into conspiracy theorists?
I mean,
like
define a conspiracy theory, though, right? Because it's so broad.
Well,
I think that sometimes things are a little too convenient.
Okay.
I'm not full-blown tinfoil hat over here.
Okay, but you believe that there is some influence as to the outcome of the draft lottery?
I mean, I've watched them in the past, and yeah, there's some pretty sketchy things.
Okay.
And it's all about money at the end of the day. Come on.
But I'm sorry, I disagree.
Okay.
I don't think you could fake that because it has such an impact on the value of a franchise that if you faked it and you got caught, it would be devastation.
Just tell that to the NBA. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
valid point.
The example that I point to, do you think that the NHL really wanted Connor McDavid to be in Edmonton?
Why wouldn't they?
Do you think they really wanted Edmonton to win 3 straight first-round picks? Or first overall picks?
Yes. And, do you not think that the NHL would have dearly loved to have Connor McDavid go to Arizona? Or maybe he saves the franchise in the 5th biggest television market?
I think it would have taken more than Connor McDavid to save that franchise.
I mean, hey, Utah made it to the playoffs. and it's
True.
the same team. So
True.
They also aren't playing out of a college arena, right?
Also
but
Mullet arena.
again, there's a lot of different things there. But I'm just saying, like, if I was of the conspiracy theory person, I might suggest that Chicago would get Gavin McKenna, or get the first overall pick, to likely take Gavin McKenna, to likely augment Connor Bedard, to likely augment, their rebuild and speed it up in Chicago. Because again, Chicago is a large television market, but I don't buy that.
I don't buy it either. I think there is a real possibility that the Leafs get it, and then there's going to be a lot of very upset people. But I also don't think that we should forget about the Flames. The Flames have a 9.5% chance of winning the draft lottery. Do I think it's realistically going to happen? No, but it would be pretty convenient as they get a new, arena.
Again, if you go down that path, yes, that would make sense, right? There's a lot of optics there, right?
I'm very curious to see, because I'm hoping that Toronto gets like the 6th pick, because they've traded their pick to Boston, but it's lottery protected. If it's top 5, they keep it. If it's top 6 or lower, they trade it to Boston. So I'm kind of like, I wouldn't mind if Toronto didn't get a lottery pick. That'd be fun.
See, I'm kind of with you on that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's kind of,
that's the best case, since your Canucks won't get the first pick.
like, no, they
We're all sitting here speculating and watch. It's going to be like the Sharks or something that win it.
Oh, yeah, it could be as well.
Add McKenna to Celebrini.
Could you imagine?
That's not fair.
Dominant.
But I don't like, getting back to your conspiracy thing and whether you believe it or not. Like, I can't.
Now I'm going to be labeled a conspiracy theory.
No. But again, right?
There are
like,
worse things.
That's true.
There is no way that Toronto that anyone would advocate at the league's office for Toronto to get first overall pick, or move up that far, right? Because you know that Toronto's always going to get the support. You know that Toronto's always going to have the TV deal. You know that the Toronto franchise is not dependent on wins and losses. The noise around them does, but I'm just saying.
Well, and who does Chayka know?
Well,
right? What kind of strings could he pull?
That's going to be that's a very interesting hire for sure.
See, I can believe Dave's theory the most, because you're a Cowboys fan. You would understand.
Thank you. Right? The
That
pain.
felt like a complimentary dig.
And well deserved. Like, I'm all for that.
Hey, their owner is on record saying he wants it to be a soap opera. It's not a dig if it's just fact.
Yeah, I know.
Oy.
So which NHL first round playoff upset is the most surprising? That is the question at sportscage.com with our poll. I want to turn it over to you two and get your take on this while I go check out some results here.
For me, it's Edmonton.
You think?
I think that that team has played so much hockey in the last 2 years, and then you throw in the Olympic Games. Like, I think they ran out of gas, but still, you've got the best guy on the planet on your team. Like, you didn't address any of your needs, I would suggest, when it comes to goaltending or defense or ways to keep the puck out of your net. But
is it also maybe a little bit more of how they're utilizing these players? Like, I'm talking offensively here. So, Dry, McDavid, they have a lot of ice time. You got to spread that love if you're going to go deep.
But how do you? With the roster construction, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you? Like, and again, I didn't even mention Montreal. Like, Montreal, how did they escape Game 7 with 9 shots on goal? They went 27 minutes in the hockey game without a shot.
The Bell Center, they weren't even playing there. And the Bell Center was rocking.
Yeah.
This is going to be such a fun series between Montreal and Buffalo.
Who would have ever said that at the start of the year, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you could have recorded that and gone back then, you'd have won a lot of money.
Yeah. That is absolutely... Oh, that series was so much fun, though. I mean, 1 goal separated the difference in every game, 7 games. That was fun to watch. And you know what? I was thinking about it. When was the last time we had a Stanley Cup final without a Florida-based team?
Not for a while.
Now that Tampa's out.
And you know what? Like, watching the end of that game when they had the 2 shots at the empty net, and they didn't even get shots on goal. The empty net was there, and they didn't get shots. Just kind of a microcosm of the evening. But it was like, they're going to lose this. Like, they are going to lose this. But then you had to think the hockey gods were on their side. And I don't know if everyone else believes and or buys into that. Like, I think it's just more of a luck thing, right? And sometimes Lady Luck is on your side, sometimes it isn't. But when you go and you ice the puck and it hits a broken stick, one of your own broken sticks in the Tampa Bay end and negates the icing, I think that's just a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did find interesting, and I know this sounds so terrible, I was cheering against the shot clock. I didn't want Montreal to get to 10. That was my intrigue. Do not let them get double digits on the shot clock.
Heaven forbid.
Who's
in a
the
Stanley Cup
over-under for
playoff
that?
game.
I know.
And who took under?
Oh my gosh, right? Like,
Probably under like 22 and a half shots or something, right?
yeah.
Oy.
That is insane. Okay, I don't want to blow past this. Coulson, biggest surprise for you? Biggest upset surprise?
Like, Edmonton feels like the easy answer. I'm kind of surprised with Dallas, honestly. Because they lost to Edmonton last year. Mm-hmm. They got Quinn Hughes this year. Like, you can't argue they got worse. Mm-hmm. So the Minnesota Wild are just on a tear, is what it is. I think everyone's not surprised with Pittsburgh. No offense to Crosby. Like, they're an older squad. Kind of wondering what happens this offseason now.
And Philly's good. Like, don't discount them, right?
And Gritty's enjoying his first playoff run.
Oh, man, is he ever.
See, I don't think that's a huge upset. Philadelphia, though.
I wouldn't say huge.
No, upset maybe.
Upset because of standing numbers,
Yeah.
or because you think they're a better team, or they beat a better team.
The Flyers are definitely the better team.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think that one's super surprising. I tend to agree Dallas getting knocked out. Little surprising to me. I expected that one to be tight. Edmonton losing to Anaheim, for those who are following along, by the way, is the most surprising on our poll at sportscage.com, with 59.89% of the votes.
Yeah, like I said, it feels like the gimme answer because it is surprising, not just because it's Edmonton, but because it's Anaheim.
Well, again, right? Anaheim can't play defense either, so that was going to be fun from the onset, right? Like, you knew that there would be offensive hockey.
It is going to be a fun second round of the playoffs here. I'm really looking forward to that Habs matchup against Buffalo. And we are getting some messages here on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, by the way. Dean messaging in, loved seeing the Habs beat the Lightning yesterday. Having said that, John Cooper has a lot of class judging on his demeanor after the game. Some of his players could learn a few things from him. Go Habs, go. Dean, I agree. I also really feel bad for John Cooper because he has had a lot of heartbreak this season. Between Milan, now this. Poor John Cooper.
Is John Cooper the best coach in the NHL right now?
I would say definitely top 3.
Who else would be in that?
Marty St. Louis.
Yes.
Who was beating his chest to the Wolf of Wall Street theme song after the game.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
That's so okay. So that
I'd say he's up there, but maybe I'm a little biased because I like to root for Canadian teams.
Okay, so he would be up there.
Mm-hmm. Who else?
I'm trying to think. Like Paul Maurice again was up on that hill for a long time with Florida. Now, again, I don't think you become a bad coach overnight or lose your hockey intelligence overnight.
No, but you can lose a room.
Yeah, I don't think he's done that, though.
I don't think he has either, but it is possible. A couple of bad seasons can change mentalities quickly. I'm not saying that they're going to be, tanking the next few years or anything, but...
I don't think anybody's going to put Chris Knobloch in the top 3. And that pains me for an Imperial Saskatchewan product, but I don't even know if he'd make top 5 despite being in the Stanley Cup finals the last couple of years, right?
You think those are going to be some conversations this offseason?
Well, I'm really curious what they're going to do. Right? What are you going to do in Edmonton to fix that situation? What about Jared Bednar, Colorado Avalanche?
Yeah. They're looking okay.
He's done a nice job with them. Mm-hmm. He seems to be very good as a coach, as a communicator. He's tough, takes a puck in the face, can't fly, so he has to miss a game, but then he's ready for game 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I saw someone made a post where it was like, and I can't remember everyone on Colorado, but it was like, Bednar can't win Coach of the Year because he's got McKinnon and Makar. McCarr can't win defensive player because he's got McKinnon, blah, blah, blah. They're just going down. It's like, because the team is so good, they can't win any awards because they have so much help around. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. At the same time, their dominance is really unmatched right now.
True. Can they get it done in the playoffs, though, right?
That's the question.
That's what counts.
Show me now.
That's what counts. Prairie Land Rentals text line 306-936-6262. Alan texted us here and said, Quinville, top 3.
Joel Quinville in Anaheim.
That's Al in Regina.
That's, you know what, that's interesting, right? He ran into the problems in Chicago, has found his way back in Anaheim. I think I would agree with you, Alan, in saying that I think that he outcoached Chris Knobloch.
Yeah. Do you think top 3?
I don't know about top 3. Again,
it's also subjective.
He's been good wherever he has been, right? So it's hard to dispute that level of success.
That's true. I still got to say Marty's up top there because.
Where's John Tortorella in that? Is he top 10? Is he top 5?
Probably around 5, 6. Now we got to map this out because now I'm starting to double up on where I'm placing coaches.
Bert's is Rod Brindamore. Hard to argue with his longevity. If he gets Carolina has looked amazing in the playoffs. And you know what? That really rubbed me the wrong way too. Like almost to the level of Nanaimo Bars, but not quite. But on Saturday night, I really don't think you should start. Now, I know it's all for television. I get it. I understand. I know why. But I don't think you should start the second round of the playoffs before the first round is done.
I felt that was odd as well.
NBA always does it, and I get it.
And that's the advantage of sweeping a team is you get more rest.
Exactly, right? So you went ahead, you did your job, you got a sweep. Like
you should be able to kick up your feet for a couple of days, which I know they're not. But you should have that option.
But still, that should be an advantage. You end your series early. That should be the advantage. And it's driven me nuts for years in the NBA because the NBA is notorious. And again, it's all for television, right?
It is.
You've got to have a game on Saturday night, and the first round game wasn't going to happen because all of the series ended.
But hockey fans will wait for that game. You know, I understand it's TV deals and there's money attached to it and sponsors and whatever.
Yeah.
But fans will wait until the end of the first round to watch the second.
Yeah.
You want to see how other things shake out.
I totally agree. Like I'm with you. Like I don't think you should start another round of the playoffs before that first round is done. And that's just me. And you can plan it out, but again, I know so there's television considerations. There's also building availability concessions. Like again, it's like I'm sitting there on my back deck yelling at the clouds on this one. I get it. It's not going to change anything, but it just irks me a little bit.
Shaking your fist at clouds. Gotcha. Understood.
Mm-hmm.
That's your conspiracy theory.
Nope.
Nope.
The chemtrails. Got it.
Your words, not mine.
Oh, you're jumping down rabbit holes now. I love this. 2019, by the way, was the last time that we didn't see a Florida-based team in the Stanley Cup final.
Agreed.
Yeah. That was Bulls fan on the stream, Prairie Land Rentals text line. Join in the conversation anytime, 306-936-6262. Oh, no.
No, I just saw Ed's message on our YouTube chat, right? Rooting against the shot clock sounds like something Barney would do if he bet on it. So are we saying that's kind of like a Barney-ish thing, right? Because sometimes you hear there's like Winnipeg-ish things that you hear sometimes from Rough Rider fans, so maybe it's a Barney-ish thing. Maybe.
We'll have to let him know.
I was rooting on the... You know what? You're right. I was rooting on the shot clock. That's what it was.
John, the Habs fan. John said they beat Buffalo in 6. They got better as the series went on. Talking about the Habs, obviously. And then they got defensively better in the series. Went on Dobish out to play. Sorry, I'm not reading this properly. But yeah, he was basically saying Dobish outplayed Vasilevsky.
In that game.
In that game.
Yeah.
Barney said, let me know the odds. I'm curious on that one.
Oh, okay.
He's interested.
So, also, okay, so we've got top 3 coming in from an anonymous texter. I don't know if we're allowed to do that. From the 750, Cooper, Cassidy, and DeBoer. John Cooper, I agree with.
Yeah.
Cassidy, I'm on the fence, and DeBoer, I'm on the fence.
Where's Cassidy going to land?
We know it's not Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I almost wondered if he would show up in Edmonton. Now, I don't know. I have no idea what the Oilers are going to do. They've got to do something because they've got 2 years with Connor McDavid on their roster before his contract expires.
And I don't see him re-signing if they don't have a ring by then. Like, it's just not happening.
Move him?
McDavid?
Before that 2-year contract?
If they're nowhere close in year 2 of that contract, do they move him?
Do you send him to Vancouver?
I think next year's the show me year.
I think it is too.
Send him to Vancouver, a.k.a. Siberia. But
yeah, he'll have a chance to win there, right?
No, I think I honestly, but in my mind, and again, I've been wrong so many times that it's not even funny, but I would suggest that if this team doesn't make a massive improvement to their roster, which is so tough because of the salary cap jail that they have landed themselves in, but if they don't do something next year, they can't risk him walking away for nothing. And I don't think you can make that trade at the trade deadline. That's going to have to be a summer deal, around the draft. So, in my humble opinion, again, I truly believe that next year, if it doesn't go well, will be his last in Edmonton.
You never know with Edmonton, though. Crazier trades have happened with star players there.
Wayne Gretzky come to mind?
Yeah, precisely.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't count it out.
Really? Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean,
it would really, really, really be different if they did. It would be.
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be way
and
out there.
There's no way that they're going to be sending him somewhere like Vancouver. But I think that he would want to go literally anywhere else.
He has full no trade, no move. There's no way he is going to Vancouver. I know that you conspiracy theorists, Tegan, believe that he's going to Toronto, but I'm just saying, leaving it there.
It's going to be a long off season. Okay, we do need to take a break. I'm getting the signal. We got to do the ticker. We'll be back here in a second. It's the Sports Cage, 620 CKRM, and streaming at sportscage.com.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Strasbourg, Last Mountain Lake area, call Dean at Solid Works Carpentry or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Hi, I'm Barbie. I'm terrified of bees. But I'm not afraid of fast internet from Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Get away! With SaskTel's super fast speeds, I can stream, shop, and video chat without anything buzzing around, except my phone. And thanks to reliable Wi-Fi, even my smart doorbell warns me if a bee comes near. Technology 1, bees 0. So if you want fast, reliable internet without the sting, get connected. Contact Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Mooseman today.
If you've ever had to clean out a grain bin in August, you know that most metal buildings can get scorching hot during the summer. Hi, I'm Terry from Zipperlock Building Company. At Zipperlock, our buildings are white, so they absorb far less heat than your average metal farm building. Avoid working in an oven next summer. Store your grain, fertilizer, and farm equipment in a Zipperlock building instead. Zipperlock Building Company, built in hours to last a lifetime. See us in Raymore or call 1-888-692-5515.
Spring's finally here.
Spring in Regina? I'll believe it when I'm sitting on a patio.
Then let's get to Pump Jacks. Patio's open.
Open now?
Yep, Sunday brunch, daily food, and drink specials.
Hold on, brunch and a patio?
And weekly live entertainment.
All right, that's not spring. That's a lifestyle.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Rent a water heater and water softener starting at about $1.20 a day and get $400 when you switch to Reliance Heath.
Round 2 NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Flyers in Carolina taking on the Canes, and then you have the Ducks in Vegas taking on the Golden Knights. NHL, they have cleared new Leafs general manager John Chayka of a tampering charge. So they looked into whether or not he had contacted an employee of another team without franchise approval. It was a whole thing, but they've said no, not an issue. Sundin also returns to the Leafs organization as a senior executive advisor of hockey operations. Tonight, Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Tampa Bay Rays on the road for 40. Eric Lauer on the mound for the Bluebirds. Saskatchewan Roughriders have added a number of prospects to their training camp roster. So you got a couple from the Regina Thunder and Saskatoon Hilltops, including Peter Borsch, Corbin Eben, Benjamin Walls, and then they're also inviting national quarterback Jake Farrell as part of the CFL quarterback internship program. They also added a number of other players here, including Carson Sombach, Nathan Pickering, Billy Jonas Pernier, Reed Hughes, and then signed 5 out of 8 of the players that they drafted last Tuesday in the CFL draft. Okay, that's your sports ticker. It is brought to you by Reliance Group of Companies. We're going to be back on the other side of 4 o'clock with the one, the only, our guy, Mr. Wes Cates. First, your news. Hang tight. It's the Sportscage on 620 CKRM.
B&A Petroleum is a Southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
We are the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
News is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. Call 781-2090.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Young from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News. Regina police have laid charges following a dangerous driving incident early Sunday morning. Police saw a truck drive through a red light at the intersection of Winnipeg Street and 5th Avenue at a high rate of speed. The suspect vehicle at times reached speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour. The vehicle drove through yards in a park before leaving Regina eastbound on Highway 46, then came to a stop at a dead end of a range road and traveled back to the highway. Officers successfully deployed a spike belt and the truck eventually stopped a short distance later. 3 occupants were inside the truck. The driver, a 16-year-old boy who can't be named due to the Youth Criminal Justice Act, is charged in connection to the incident. The youth will make an appearance in Regina Provincial Youth Court on June 11th. A new Saskatchewan law now lets firearms owners apply for exemptions to keep certain prohibited guns while seeking compensation. The province's appraisal service will review applications and determine fair market value. Officials say the program protects law-abiding owners from possible charges after the federal amnesty ends in October. Supporters, including police leaders, say it helps prioritize public safety efforts. However, the federal government has defended its firearms policy, saying restrictions are needed to reduce risks and improve safety, setting up an ongoing disagreement between provincial and federal leaders. Saskatchewan has proclaimed May 3rd to 9th as Emergency Preparedness Week, encouraging residents to get ready for emergencies. The theme this year is Be Prepared, Know Your Risks, urging people to understand dangers around them and plan ahead. Officials recommend creating a 72-hour emergency kit for home and vehicles. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says preparation can make a big difference in a crisis. A Sask Alert test is also set for Wednesday at 1:55 p.m. across phones, radio, and television. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
When was the last time you cleaned your ducts? Because what's hiding in there, it's kind of gross. dust, skin, and who knows what else floating around your home every day. A professional duct cleaning is good for your health and good for your home. So start fresh with duct cleaning from Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Cleaner air, better comfort. Call 781-2090 or visit broncoplumbing.com today. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And Bryant, whatever it takes.
Weather for next-gen coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street, Regina. Some spotty light showers this afternoon. Wind gusts up to 60 kilometers an hour and a high of +6. Tonight, partly cloudy, dropping to -3. For tomorrow, partly sunny and a high of +6. For Wednesday, high of 11 degrees with mostly sunshine. Thursday, partly sunny and a high of +14. And then Friday, sunshine and a high of +18.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now next gen coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Smokem Diesel in Regina. So you want to do it yourself? No problem. We sell injection pumps, injectors, and turbos to fit all your needs. Find us on Facebook today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Well, thanks for taking the time. Monday edition of the Sports Cage. I'm Tegan Whitco, joined by Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Colson Schultz on the controls, keeping us on the stream, 620 CKRM, as well as the video feed that you can find. Sportscage.com, X, YouTube. Join in the conversation at any point here on the Prairie Land Rentals text line at 306-936-6262. John, the Habs fan, wants to go at it with Dave Thomas. Might need to get him to phone in a little bit later on the Western Pizza guest hotline.
Is it because of my love of the Nanaimo bars?
Yeah, that's definitely it. No, he's goaltending.
Oh.
He's standing up for Dobish here.
I think both goaltenders played great, but yeah.
And then he's going after your Canucks, so we won't dive into that just yet.
Might as well. Everyone else. I don't think you can be any harder on them than I am. Like, really.
At this point, you either laugh or you cry, right?
That is the reality of my NHL world.
Yeah, so if you want to go after the Canucks, feel free to do so. Text us. Again, 306-936-6262. Still coming up. By the way, if you missed it, we had a guest joining us earlier on the show. And if you wanted to go back and listen to it at any point, Joel Lipinski talking to us about the flag football men's Canadian selection camp that was in Winnipeg this weekend. After 5, we still have Darian Durant that's going to pop by, have a little chit-chat as we always do on Mondays. And then Curtis Hunt, general manager of the Eastern Conference champion Prince Albert Raiders. They knocked off Medicine Hat this weekend, and now they're preparing for the WHL final. So we're going to chat with him a little bit. But in the meantime, we got our next guest in studio. We're all set up. We're ready to rock and roll. It's been a minute. Without further ado, Grey Cup champion Wes Cates. How's it going, man?
I'm good, Tegan. How you been?
I feel like I need to work on your intro. That wasn't quite, wow enough.
Yeah, we
got some time.
Right?
The players go up to training camp. We got to do something to prepare too, right?
You guys were hanging out with Joe Lipinski.
Yeah.
We used to call him 300. I know I've said that on the show during the season before, but he was into working out. He was a little, he was a muscle-bound dude. So
runs Ignite Athletics up in Saskatoon now.
That was like around the time that movie came out, but
300.
He got that nickname. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
They just had an inside joke about Nanaimo bars, and then he went after my Baba's Nanaimo bars and how they're apparently not the best in the world.
How do you become a Vancouver Canuck fan? Like, isn't that too far? Isn't that like what? Isn't that a coast team? Like, what are we doing?
Well, not on my bingo card today. Was discussing Nanaimo bars or getting called out by Wes Cates for the NHL team that I support.
Well, I mean, I support the Blue Jackets, but at least I'm from Ohio.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has a reason.
No, well, again, a very famous Vancouver Canuck was from Weyburn, my hometown, and that's how it started, right?
Gotcha.
So there you go. Dave.
There's that connection.
Following the player.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, see, you need to lead with that. That makes sense.
Well, before we know it, Wes Cates is going to be our NHL insider as well, but we should probably talk a little football.
Mm-hmm.
Let's address the elephant in the room. The playoff format changes announced for... Okay. Thoughts?
I mean, at the end of the day, they really didn't do anything new. They just stole the NBA's playoff play-in system, right? Like, I mean, I look at it like this. Like, it's kind of cool just from a fan standpoint. Okay, there's more games. All right, we're making more revenue. More teams are going to get a home playoff game. There's going to be more playoff games. But I'm looking at it like if I'm a 1 or 2 seed, I'm like, all we're going to do is beat up on each other, maybe get somebody hurt for a bye to basically see the same team again in 2 weeks. So it's like I can get the sell of it, but as a player, I'm surprised the PA kind of went with it, because as a player, I'd be like, I don't want to have to play another game to get to the championship after I've already earned this top spot, right? So, but I mean, it's whatever. It's cool. If you take the injuries out of it, I'm like, hey, that's great. It seems like a way to maybe make it more interesting. But when you're thinking about how long a season is, how much guys go through, and then it's almost like a punishment for being first or second place, because now you're playing like it's like you're having the Western Final or the Eastern Final to win the chance to have a bye, to not have a team beat you. And then if you're looking at like the third and fourth place teams, like typically they wouldn't be as good of a team. So I'm thinking those games would be more blowouts. It'll be easier for the winner to come in after the loser of the 1 and 2 seed beats themselves up. Now they got to come see you in a game. That's like, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, I'm just saying. There's a lot to think about.
Well, 8 out of 9 teams now make the playoffs. I think that was a big sticking point for a lot of people. When this was initially released, obviously we've had almost a week now to kind of digest it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too mad at that either. Like, it's kind of, there's only 3 teams sitting at home. Okay, now you really get to be the losers. That one team is like, dang, we got to get better.
Is the T-shirts we're going to get made? Yeah.
Yeah, Colson just put it up on the stream. It says, my team finished 9th in the CFL, and all I got was this lousy shirt.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want to be the one team that didn't get a chance to get there. So yeah, I think just not being the 9th team will make teams play a little harder during the regular season. There ain't gonna be no friends. It's just gonna be one squad packing up. So
well, and maybe it's gonna be beneficial for rivalries, even if you think about it. Like we were talking off air about the possibility of potentially seeing like the Saskatchewan Roughriders seeing Winnipeg twice in the postseason.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like, okay, we already sometimes see teams 4 times. Now it's like, all right, we might see them a 5th, you know what I mean, 5th, 6th time. That sounds crazy, but I mean, when you only have 9 teams in the league, it's kind of what you got to expect. So, I mean, I think that they came to some sort of consensus, and like the powers that be decided this was a good idea. So, I guess we can give it a season or 2, see how it rolls. But as soon as some big time player gets hurt in that 1-2 seed game, I'm thinking people are going to have a lot different feeling about this format. But
the one thing I think this safeguards, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Sometimes after Labor Day, like the week or 2, or maybe even the 3rd week after, there's still a ton of season to go after Labor Day, right?
Right.
But there's times that teams can coast their way to a first place finish, right? Does that change their strategy at all, having to play more meaningful games?
I mean, I'd like to see, because when I was reading, they were saying it's going to make the regular season more interesting, and I'm like, what, are they taking a game out now or something?
No, they're leaving it all the same, right? So you're still playing 18 regular season games. You just have to play basically at least 2 games to get to the Grey Cup. So at least 3 playoff games to win the Grey Cup now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to really change the approach in the regular season, because I just don't see how it's really going to change the seeding much. I mean, if you're going to get out to a good lead and be able to coast. That's kind of what you're going to do. And even now, it might make teams coast even more because it's like, I'm going to have to play somebody the first week, so it really doesn't matter. We can, you know what I mean?
Rest guys.
Like, if you're in first or second, you're kind of just battling to stay at that third place spot. But depending on how things shake out, you might be like, oh, maybe I want to see, you know what I mean, Calgary and Edmonton bang in 1 and 2 and I play, you know what I mean, BC in a down year. I'm speaking from the Riders and kind of get that chance to kind of watch them, see what they're doing in the playoffs, and then get a beat up, better team to go against in that second round. But I don't know. Like I said, they're just still in that play-in format, which I can't lie. I do like the play-in format a little bit for NBA. You know what I mean? But obviously it's like you're going to get the 7th or 8th seed and then play a completely different team. You're not running it back to see the team you just played a couple weeks ago.
The only thing I find is the way that it was presented was, oh, this is going to be a better product for fans. Well, this is going to be a better product for fans. Well, realistically, they're working on a new TV deal right now. More games means more revenue.
Yeah.
So just be transparent about that is my only thing.
I mean, I think that's pretty much the bottom line of it. It's a way for the league and franchises to make a little more money off of games that are obviously going to be more well attended and sold out because they're playoff games. So I ain't mad at them for that. I think as a player that would have to do it, I'm kind of salty. But I mean, I kind of thought it was a little too easy of a way to get to a Grey Cup when you really only have one game to play as a top seed, and it's like, oh, just win and you're in. You know what I mean?
This may sound ridiculous, but I really hadn't thought of it until you just mentioned it, Wes. When you said about the number of regular season games. So obviously this is about building fandom, right? There's more excitement in the playoffs. There's more eyes on television. There's more eyes in the stadium because there's a high-stakes game. You think they'd ever consider removing a couple of games? Or would that, again, I don't know from the player perspective how that would work if you went down to 16 regular season game checks instead of 18.
I say as a player, you want to see less games to get to the playoffs until you need those games to get in the playoffs. You know what I mean? You're like, dang, we got 4 weeks to try to climb back. You don't want to. Now all of a sudden you're 16 games and you're like, ooh, that window shrinks, and you're like, man, if it was 18 games, we might have been able to win a couple more and get in.
True,
but everybody's getting in now, so maybe 16 makes sense, right?
The choice to make the announcement of the CFL playoff format on draft day was interesting.
That seems weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it does kind of.
We got to stop, Wes. You're getting a parking ticket.
Am I?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro.
Go beat it.
I know, right? Hold on.
Follow the lead blockers.
Oh, man.
He's got it.
The joy.
I feel so excited that I was able to help out Wes Cates.
Avoid a parking ticket?
Yes.
This is the joy of doing the show from 12th and Rose, downtown Regina. You can physically see, because we're in basically a big fishbowl in here.
I want to see if there's a stiff arm involved. So Wes has got his phone out.
Oh, he's doing play-by-play.
Yeah.
Even better.
Did he? I think he's okay.
Well, he probably went up to the person and said, do you know who I am? I'm Wes Cates.
No, he would not. He
would never do that.
But now the problem is that he's locked out of our building.
Oh, no.
No, we're good. We're good.
We're good?
We're good.
Crisis averted?
Yeah.
We should just get the man a key at this
point.
point.
I think that would probably be.
We're good? Hey! Crisis averted.
I feel so good.
Just saved a couple bucks for him. There you go.
Good looking out.
Well, at first I thought your car was being stolen and I wasn't as proactive, so now we're good. There you go.
Where were we?
I think we were talking football. Football entered into that conversation at some point.
What do y'all think about them not letting you put coins in the meters anymore? How about that?
Yeah, the stupid sleeve. Oh, man.
No, what were we talking about?
We're focusing. The fact that they announced the CFL playoff format change on draft day.
See, Tegan's got us in there.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I missed exactly when they did it. Like, was it like the first announcement, or did they just kind of slip it in after the second pick or something like that?
They slipped it in before the draft even started.
Yeah.
Because I know, Dave, you were down at the stadium. I believe there was a press conference with Craig Reynolds.
It came out at noon.
Okay.
And then the various teams, address the media like, hey, here's what we're thinking. And again, to me, myself and I have no problems with this. I can't envision how it's going to look down the road. But yeah, they announced it at noon. The draft started at 5.
Yeah.
So there was...
there was some space and time in between, but I don't know. I guess you're like, we're all here. It's a big day. Added to the news of the day. I don't I'm the wrong person to ask about this type of stuff because I'm not going to get all bent out of shape over.
That's fair.
I mean, it's an announcement. It's like, y'all didn't change. It's not like it's happening this season. Like, you got a year to think about it.
Which is kind of the argument for some people, I think, because draft day is a day that these players, these athletes, train so hard for. And then to have that news come out just beforehand, it wasn't received well. We'll put it that way. It
wasn't received well, but tell me how it affects the kids getting drafted, or what I mean? Maybe it took maybe if there was some deliberation, it took away from maybe some of the teams' focus on who they're drafting. But I'm like, I guarantee you, ask any of those draft picks, or I shouldn't say any, but ask them all if they know about the rule change, and I guarantee you 90% of them will be like, oh, for real, that happened?
That's
what
changing?
I mean? Yeah.
More important things on their mind that day.
Yeah.
Understandable. So do you have a chance to look at draft picks, 9th overall, Malcolm Bell?
Yeah, I did. I mean, obviously he's a longer DB, so that's good. You always like a little length, especially. And then he's got the experience playing in the Big Ten, playing at Michigan State. And, I mean, then obviously he's got some pedigree about him because he got invited to camp. So you factor in all those things. I wasn't able to watch a ton of film on him, but I know if he's in the Big Ten, he's going against some of the best receivers in the world, right? So I'd say that, best available option. I would think that he's probably that guy because he's lanky for a DB, so he's got that size factor checked off. He's looking at the highlights he's played. He's a good cover guy, but he also is good at disguising blitzes. He has some tackles for loss. You know what I mean? Seems to be able to get involved in the run game and react quick to plays and all that stuff. So I would say the biggest thing is not knowing when you're going to get them, right? Mm-hmm. But I like the pick. I definitely like the pick. And then I was looking at some of the other picks. I'm interested to see these young receivers. I can't think of. I know McBean is one. He's the one I kind of just like his body type in the way. I think he has a little more explosion than I was watching. I couldn't find any college tape on these two, but I did watch some high school tape, and I'm like, well, based off how they were moving around in high school, I like McBean. He seemed to have a little natural stiff arm about him, and he seems to kind of navigate traffic a little bit better than what's the other receiver's name? I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, he's I like the fact that they're trying to replace some of them receivers, and then obviously you always try to go for a couple of O-linemen, and then they got a linebacker in there too. I haven't seen too much out of the defensive guys that have come out of college on the Rider roster much, but if there's any positions that I'm worried about for the Riders, it would be D-line and linebacker. I think they're solid everywhere else, even before the draft.
Dylan Gede is the other receiver that was drafted by the Riders.
Yeah.
When a player is drafted, and now you've been in a CFL locker room, and so when a Canadian player is drafted, how ready are they to jump into a lineup? Can you make that transition from U Sports, or even the guys like you're talking about Bell playing at Michigan State? Can they jump right into an offense or defense in the CFL?
I would say in most cases, no. Maybe a running back, if I would say as a rotational guy, yes. But as a starter and a guy you're dependent on, no, not typically.
Not typically, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at a guy that's obviously maybe due to injury, you get him in early, but most of these Canadian draft picks, you're looking at development guys, right? The guys that you see playing in 2-3 years. But hey, maybe somebody will surprise us. We'll have to see.
Like Alfred in Calgary last year, right? He even took a few weeks before he started to integrate himself more with the offense and understand it. Is it just because of the game? Is it just the development piece that you talked about with them not? Again, you draft a guy in the NFL in the first round, you're basically saying you're going to start for us, are you not?
Yeah, I think so, but I think that I think there's less of a leap from like the top tier college to NFL than there is from like top CIS to the CFL. And then a lot of these CIS guys aren't really dealing with some of these like guys from the States that come up here that are like physical specimens, and that can be a little shocking, a little intimidating. And I think maybe the intimidation factor plays a little bit more of a role, for whatever reason. So I definitely think that it just depends on the person. If a guy comes in, he seems mature, he's got the body for it, and he's, making the plays, then throw him in there. But it just doesn't seem to happen that way too often.
How do you make your mark at a CFL training camp, or especially a rookie camp, right? So the rookies are on the field on Wednesday. They practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they have to trim the roster before the main camp begins. How do you make your mark?
I think it's really not as much about like physical prowess as much as it's about just mentally being locked in, not making mental errors, you know what I mean? Paying attention, being where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, and, getting the meetings on time, finding a good vet to maybe show you some little tricks of the trade, little things where you can be like, all right, this young dude is sharp. Well, let's see, you know what I mean? Let's test him a little bit. Let's throw him in the fire, and see how they respond. So I think just being eager to kind of be a good study, and then hopefully you kind of have the physical attributes to kind of help you compete in your drills.
What are some of the biggest shocks when rookies step onto the field? It's camp. They've never been to it before.
Yeah, some guys can't remember how many players are supposed to be on the field.
Yeah, that's old stuff, man. What are you talking about?
Like, why are you going to bring that up, Dave?
No, I think like it is. It's the mental part of it, right? It's just the kind of settling in and getting comfortable. I think the biggest shock is probably like, oh, nobody's really going to like show me. Like, I'm going to have to pay attention and figure it out. It's not like you got the coach, with his arm around your shoulder, just kind of, okay, that was okay, you messed that up, now let's try it again. Nah, it ain't none of that. It's kind of like find your way in the drill, usually like try not to get at the back of the line, try to squeeze your way in the middle, show, you know what I mean? It's like people, coaches and even other players, we're paying attention to everything. So just how you approach it, just not being scared or just showing that eagerness and, just trying to find your way and remembering that it's still a game. You've been playing it your whole life. There's going to be some things that are different. Some guys maybe are going to surprise you with their athleticism and strength, but you just got to take your licks and just come back for more.
See, and that you absolutely bring something that I hadn't considered, but even as a coach in hockey, right? And again, I'm not talking professional high level. I'm talking Dave Thomas and his kids. But like when you're doing a drill, right? There's always that guy that's eager. That's at the front of the line, and predominantly if they will mess it up, right? And then as a coach, you're just frustrated beyond all get out. But then you're also reading who goes to the back of the line with zero confidence, right? So that's obviously something you've got to consider. I didn't think of that.
All day. And then the guys that are like, oh yeah, I got this. And they're kind of, you're like, you're not even paying attention. Then all of a sudden 5 people have done the drill right. Then that's this person that's got some swag and thinks they know, they come up and mess up the drill. You're like, oh, I don't know if he's going to make it. He might be the most athletic guy on the field, but you're like, I don't know if he has it mentally to understand how important it is to like get his plays down, understand his reads, understand where he needs to be, those sort of things. So there's the little traits that you can show, or maybe even fake a little bit, that get you a little extra attention.
I don't want to get Wes in trouble here, but I was going to ask which players you watch get humbled.
Wes did the check to see if he was getting another ticket.
Oh.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
No, that's funny because I'm sitting up here trying to do my pay and park app and talk at the same time. It ain't going too well.
Oh, you only have to pay for another, half an hour? It's fine.
You're good.
You're good.
I try to, you know what? I can't remember the receiver's name, but I remember it was like 08 or 09. There was a receiver that like, he was doing everything right, all the drills, making all the plays in practice. But when we got into the preseason games, he couldn't do anything right. And it was like just that little bit of more pressure that comes from like the lights being on, right? Just
the big show.
Kind of shook him a bit. And we were all, And everybody was like, oh, he's going to be a beast for us this year, blah, 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 this and that. You know, he wasn't a big dude, but he was quick, catching everything. I mean, I'm talking about making diving catches, getting in, making the good blocks, you know, just being where he's supposed to be in practice. And then, I don't know what he was tripping and stumbling out his routes in the preseason games and had a couple drops. Probably a good thing I don't remember his name. That was just, you know what I mean? Or just the injury part of it. We had a 6'6" receiver. I do remember this kid's name, Farouz. I think it was it might even. No, I'm getting Farouz and Fantus. But anyway, his name was Farouz. It might have been Andy, but anyway, Farouz. He was a little lean, like 6'6", had a little swag about him. You know, he wasn't the quickest guy in and out of his routes, but he had the size where you're like, yeah, you could use this kid. And he just got like a hammy injury or something crazy, and then just couldn't get right. Then he almost just turned into kind of like the joke of the team, like he just was banged up the whole time. I kind of felt bad for him because he never really got an opportunity to show what he could do, but he can't make the club in the tub. So that's the way it rolls, man. It was tough because I wanted to see him actually get a chance to show what he could do. Like, I mean, like this dude was, I'm saying 6'6", you know, lean, looked like a model, you know, had the long hair. Maybe that was what it was. He was just too pretty. Like, it just
too pretty.
Yeah,
too pretty to play football.
Can you give me the insight on a vet at camp? Because, okay, you're Wes Cates. Your spot is solidified. Like, let's face it, we know that going into camp.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the Roughriders this year, right? So they're going to have 2 weeks of practice, 2 games in 5 days, and then another week of camp, and then a bye week, and then they start the season. What I'm getting at is, how do you prepare yourself mentally and physically when there is such a small evaluation window, when you've got to balance being prepared and ready to go for game 1?
You're saying as a vet or just
as a vet?
Yeah.
You're a guy that's been in that locker room. Is there a rep count that you want that you tell the coaches you need?
I think you come into camp being honest with yourself. Like, how good was my off season? Am I in shape? Like, or do I really need to try to get more of these reps to get myself in shape? Because you can't get into game shape in camp, but you can get into some good shape. Maybe cut some weight. You know what I mean? Get that soreness out of your, like, I don't care who you are or what you did over the offseason, unless you just were doing some ridiculous drills every day, you're going to be sore, especially that first week. Like, your neck and your hamstrings are going to be sore because there's just so much running, so much hitting. And, as a vet, you just make sure that, you know, if there's new, different install, maybe a different coordinator or something like that, that you're paying attention and not letting some young dude that maybe the coordinator likes more, you know what I mean, outshine you, because that'll happen quick. As a vet, you know, you're thinking, oh man, this another dude is out here trying to get my dang car. Y'all killing me right now.
Oh my goodness.
We may need to take a break.
I feel like we should just get him a parking spot at this point.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on. Have you on weekly? It'd be fine. I can try to work something on. Okay. This is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then we'll take a break. We're going to go let Wes.
I just got him.
Yes!
Wow.
Success. We studied the playbook. We executed.
He looking it up. Is it going through?
We're still going to take a break. We'll come right back. Okay, we'll get this sorted. It's the Sports Cage. It's on
I know this dude. I didn't have to holler at him already before.
Wes Cates on a first name basis with parking attendants in downtown Regina.
Take a break.
620 CKRM. Streaming at sportscage.com. We'll be back.
This is Country Gold with Steve Harmon. Your home for the country hits of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Hello, I'm Steve Harmon, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week we play country favorites from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we check in with the stars who made them, too. This weekend on Country Gold.
Country Gold, brought to you by Trent Dickin and his experienced team at Flooring Superstore. Saturday mornings at 6 and Sunday afternoons at 4 on the the voice of Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Don't miss the biggest Trex composite decking sale at Freeze Tallman. From May 4th to 16th, save 15% off in stock Trex composite decking. Perfect for your home or cottage. Even our friend Mr. Bunny knows Trex aren't just for kids. He tried hopping on the old wood deck? Well, he's sticking to Trex now. Freeze Tallman will deliver to your house or cottage. Visit freezetallman.com and hop on this sale before it's gone. Freeze Tallman. Locally owned, family grown, rooted in our community for 70 years.
You know that Extreme Hockey and Sport has everything you need for hockey, but spring is just around the corner. They're thinking baseball. Be all set for the ball diamond with team kits, bats, gloves, accessories, and training products all in stock. And let's not forget about lacrosse. Don't let spring throw you a curveball. Be ready with Extreme Hockey and Sport, locally owned, community focused, 1425 McIntyre Street at the Cooperator Center, now in Moose Jaw, and online at extremehockey.net.
Karen explains why she is comfortable investing her money with Brian Golly of Smart Investing Solutions.
I don't have to worry about it. Once I do it, I know it's looked after, and I have seen good success as well in our investment. He's very knowledgeable, he's very trustworthy, and he wants the best for his clients.
Don't guess with your money. Call Brian at 306-546-2533. SmartInvestingSolutions.ca.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Keln Solar. Thinking about saving money by using solar power? Keln Solar is a local family company that can put solar panels on your home, business, or farm. KelnSolar.com.
Clutch Performer, Keln Solar. I'm going to start off here in that Tampa Bay Montreal series. Jakub Dobiš, wow.
Yeah,
he was fantastic, especially in Game 7. And even post-game, he was quoted saying, I treat every game like it's a Game 7. And yes, he is an emotional goaltender, and we're aware of that. Now, I would give him the clutch performer. However, I got to go with a guy who was eliminated from the playoffs this weekend, Saskatoon's own Brandon Hagel. So he had that blocked shot on Slavkovsky's shot at the net, empty net. Incredible defensive play, preventing the empty netter from happening. Yeah, that is insane. If you're watching the stream right now, you can see Slavkovsky coming in and just tips it out of the net. Oh, yeah.
You gotta be sick with himself. That's terrible. Yeah.
I mean, right, eh? Montreal also got 9 shots on net the entire game, which is bad. Fewest shots in playoff history.
What makes my man an emotional goaltender? You were just saying
he wears his heart on his sleeve, you might say.
I've never really seen a goaltender be emotional. Like, was he?
Some of them have their quirks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick Waugh famously had some quirks.
Yeah. He speaks his mind and he uses his stick to talk.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throwing that.
A little emotional.
Yeah. But again, I love guys that care.
Yeah.
When you show you care.
It makes it entertaining. Yeah. That's for sure. From a fan standpoint as well. But yeah, that's your first clutch performer that I wanted to throw out there. Brandon Hagel. I'm sad that we don't get to keep watching him in the playoffs because, man, he has been good. And I do feel for him. A lot like John Cooper we were talking about. This kind of feels like Milan over again.
What about R.J. Barrett in that's game
mine.
6?
Yeah, that was mine.
Oh, you're stealing Colson's.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, good. No. Oh, good.
Yeah, it teed up.
Look
he
at
was
that.
throwing up bricks all series, but that was a clutch shot. I'm like, Barrett, he needs to get in the gym and work on his touch a little bit because he's got all the skills and he's Canadian, so I love him with the Raptors. But between him and Brandon Ingram, I'm like, y'all weren't ready. Like it was like it was Scotty Barnes and then a bunch of like young dudes because those other two, I'm like, RJ, you playing some good D. But you are throwing up some bull crap right now, buddy. Like, let's get it together.
Calling it like he sees it.
How about Louis Varland from the Toronto Blue Jays? Named MLB's American League Reliever of the Month.
Okay.
I had an outstanding month, was promoted to the Toronto Blue Jays closer. What did he do? .56 ERA, 4 saves, 16 strikeouts in 26 innings since taking over from Jeff Hoffman.
Wow, that's clutch.
That's very clutch. And again, just it's incredible what he's doing. And again, You don't sometimes say this and you don't respect the trades that are made, but that was a great trade, and the Jays have control, right? He's under contract for, 5 more years, 6 more years, so that's...
Trades are largely talked about when they don't go well.
That's true. But Louis Varland, he did well.
Yeah.
Okay, clutch. I got one more. It's not really a clutch. You know what? Actually, it is. I'm going to give clutch performer to the Carolina Hurricanes marketing team as well. If you're watching the stream right now, you can see they have these beer skates that they're filling up with draft. They look pretty sick, and they were a hit at a game over the weekend because they ended up selling 4,687 beer skates sold. So that was one in every 4 fans had purchased one of these bad boys. It's a lot of beer.
I wonder how much more it costs than a regular schooner or something.
Probably double.
You're right.
I would be willing to guess.
I mean, you got a little keepsake.
Yeah.
I would be way more into it if I could take the same one back and get a refill for less.
Discount.
That's what they were doing.
That would be
bought
smart.
one for sure if I could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the shoey?
The shoey.
It's where you drink champagne or beer out of a shoe. And
I've seen people do that, and I'm like, never be me.
Yeah, see, I thought it was a pill country thing. I honestly did, but it's actually Australian. They actually do it in Australia in a number of events, and they call it the shoey.
You guys can ask Mark about it on the Colin Show.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Good day, Mark. Haven't heard from him in a while. Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that. Yeah. I will forget, so I'm leaning on you with this one, Wes. Okay, so those are your clutch performers brought to you by Keln Solar, installing solar in residential and commercial buildings for 35 years. Local and trusted Keln Solar. Visit kelnsolar.com. By the way, if you missed out on any of the conversations we've had so far with Joel Lipinski, or, our first half of the discussion with Wes Cates where he almost got a parking ticket, or any of the other shows or any of the other conversations we're having coming up on the show, you can always go back, listen in podcast form, wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube as well. It's brought to you by Freeze Tallman Lumber. Big Trex decking sale on this week. Fort Capel and Regina, delivery available. And I was sent this by Barney. He said, don't be like Glenn Suter, get Trex decking. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming that he
Glenn's got a problem with his lawn, some beetles and stuff. His lawn doesn't look good.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Okay, fair enough. So go to Freeze Tallman Lumber.
Don't be a Glenn Suter. All right.
Oh, we got
friend of the show.
The lawn got infested by some bad lumber. Is that where we're going? Is that the
no? Some
dots were
beetles
connected?
that eat up the ground, burrow in the ground, and make his grass look bad.
Oh, great!
I've got a picture of it somewhere. I'll find it.
Oh, we love that. Jeez. Well, that was your clutch performer. Real quick, pivoting back to training camp. What position are you going to be focusing on, Wes? I know you mentioned the receivers a little bit there. But what else are you kind of looking at? Which group?
Well, I think the fact that, we've had a couple of D linemen, retire, leave for some more money. A.J. Allen left for, to Ottawa. So I think just that front seven defense, who's really making plays, who's kind of hard to move, and who's, I think, like I said, kind of at the top of the hour, the interview was, that's the only area of this Riders team that I'm worried about. I think they've got enough receivers. Obviously most of the O-line is back. You got your quarterback, running back. DBs are stacked. It's just really linebacker, but that's probably your most important part of your team is your D-line and linebackers.
It's pretty important.
Outside of a good QB.
I'm really curious, and again, Luke would mock me for saying this.
Good start.
Special teams, right? New long snapper coming in, a new kicker likely coming in, and Michael Hughes is the incumbent, new punter coming in, Jesse Mirko finished there last year. As a player, how much does that concern you? Because it is a huge part of the game.
I'm expecting some mishaps this year for on a hold or two, on a snap or two, and kicks. Obviously you're maybe going to miss it. It's not like some kicker's going to come in and go 100%, but I'm just saying, it's a big part of the game that people don't think about. But if you've ever been a player to even mess around and try to or be forced into doing something like that, I remember Weston Dressler was one of those guys who kind of could do a little bit of everything, and I feel like one game he almost had to. Well, he used to be a holder.
He used to hold,
and I think one game he almost had to kick or something because somebody was muscle was tightening up. I can't remember. But anyway, like those things, like that long snapping, like you can go to the league off of just being able to get the ball back precisely to a holder quick. I mean, like to snap a ball and get it back there, and you know what I mean, in a short amount of time, accurate is a way tougher skill than most people realize. So to kind of not know who your long snapper is going to be, I would say is a big worry. And then holders, I mean, you can find a guy with hands. It's really just about working with the kicker and understanding how they like the ball being placed on the ground. And then obviously, you know, laces out, you know, you don't want that Ray Finkel. And yeah, that's the big thing about it, right? So it's a big part of the game. Like nobody ever thinks about it, but it's crucial. And if you're in a situation where now you're deciding to try to go for it instead of kicking a makeable field goal to maybe get within a score or take the lead, then you can see how it's going to affect the scoreboard and the win-loss column as well.
Okay, give me a percentage, right? Like how many times does a professional football athlete mess up in a game? Whether it's the assignment, whether it's the alignment, whether it's the execution, because I draw on the two most recent Saskatchewan Roughriders to announce their retirement. Jorgen Hughes never botched a long snap in his career. There was one that he wasn't happy with, but the team gave him credit for a good snap. Mitch Picton didn't drop a catchable pass in his career. What are the odds of that with a professional football athlete?
Like dropping a pass high. Lining up wrong low unless you're like in your first, second year, or maybe if you're with a new coordinator and they've got some quirky, you know what I mean, quirky plays or something, you might mess up early, maybe in the first month of the season. But I mean, if you're talking about like it's Labor Day and then you're lining up wrong or something, it's like maybe you just didn't eat right that day, because it shouldn't really happen, right? You're just having a brain fart. I do remember once though, my bad, in 2007. So I guess this would have been it was 2007 because anyway, 2007, one day of practice, wasn't in the game, but one day in practice for some reason I had like my left and right crossed. Not really my left and right cross, but we had like an empty package. So it was like if it was 50, you empty to the right. It was 51, you empty to the left. But it might even been reversed, right, or something like that. But for whatever reason that day, I swear, I went the wrong way like 3 times. You know what I mean? In a day in practice, and it was just funny because I got a little crap, but.
Well, I'd rather do it in practice.
I was a beast by then, so they kind of didn't make that big of a deal about it. But Ken Austin was like, "Come on now, Cates, what's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me today, man." And then I straightened up after that. But yeah, it was never in a game. I don't know. I kind of prided myself on like I always graded out really high, like for game scripts and stuff like that. So, I mean, now you want to talk about missing a block, like that's one of the hardest things to do. Like I always laugh because people are like, "Oh, he missed a block." Like you try to stop a grown man from getting where they want to go without holding them, and tell me how easy that is, right? So it just depends on what it is. But receivers dropping it, O-lineman missing, maybe whiffing on a block or two because it's a good, well-timed blitz. They don't see the guy. I can see that happen almost weekly. But as far as lining up wrong or you know, maybe a guy gets a little anxious and that's another thing. In the CFL, like it's hard to even jump a snap count because everybody can be in motion. So really the old linemen are the only people that have to worry about jumping the snap count. Everybody else can flinch, and it's kind of cool.
What about defensive backs?
Oh yeah, they can bust the coverage pretty easy, especially the way like DBs communicate now, because a lot of times you can kind of coach will send in a play call, but maybe you can say to your, the corner and the halfback will say, well, if this guy runs a short route, you just take it and I'll take whatever, goes deep, even though you're supposed to maybe play, the guy over you, but you just tell the halfback, like, no matter who stays low, you stay there, I'm going high, that sort of thing. Then maybe you can get a little crossed up. But I'd say, coverage is tough too, because, you might be in good coverage and still get beat, but blowing coverages, we saw it a few times last season when it really mattered, right? So I still say it only happens to young guys or guys that are new to the system for the most part.
Should ask Suits how many times that happened, because Rider Nation always blamed him no matter what. Just throwing that out there, right? So as training camp gets going, we fans in the stands can sit there and go, "Oh, wow, that guy caught 3 balls, 300 yards. Like, look at this. This guy's amazing." What should we actually be watching for aside from who's making the catch?
I think,
or any position that, for that matter, right, that's having success on the field. Well,
yeah.
What are the coaches watching, and what should we watch if we want to get that inside scoop on who's got the inside track to be on this roster?
I think who's making, as far as if you're going to practices every day, I would say, who's getting yelled at for messing up. You know what I mean? Like if it's a scrimmage or something, guys are making plays, that's one thing. But if there's like coaches are like, "Come on, you're messing up my drill," or this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's a guy that keeps getting yelled at for stuff, you know what I mean? Be like, "Oh, I got to worry about him." Or a guy that's continuously getting praised. I mean, obviously you want to see some guy who kind of jumps off the page at you, or you just see him always making a play, or they just look a little quicker, or you know what I mean, they're tossing guys around and looking a little stronger. I would say, look for that guy who stands out physically in some way.
Okay.
And then just anybody that's, if there's guys that are kind of looking around a lot and not just going to their spot, you're like, oh, they're looking a little confused, like they don't really know what's going on. That might be another tell that they're having a little struggle picking things up. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, a lot of times what guys do in a scrimmage or in a preseason game has little to do with, because they might not even get enough reps to really even get get solid reps where coaches can actually critique them or grade them. So it's really about what you're doing in practice and how you're picking up the schemes.
So would a preseason game then be more about preparing, right? So you put your offense in, you get a look at what everybody's doing, or is it still more evaluating?
I think it depends on the coach, because a lot of times coaches want to use those preseason games. And remember, in the CFL, there's only 2.
Yeah.
So you really want to be ready for your first game. So maybe, if you got some vets that you're not really worried about getting them reps in one of the games, maybe. But that's the one thing I hate about the CFL and the 2 preseason. It's not enough. Not for a guy to really make the team that's kind of on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the guys that make the teams after camp, it's because the coaches and GM wanted them there, unless there's, like I said, just somebody who just jumps off the page, Yeah.
I'm very curious. The other thing I'm curious about is what Joshua Bell's defense is going to look like compared to Corey Mace, because we've got a new defensive coordinator this year. Do you anticipate there to be much in the way of change that is easy to see or dissect by the naked eye?
I think it's going to depend on, because Mace is proven, right? His schemes, his philosophy is proven. He did great. Toronto came over here and won the championship. So, I mean, Bell's got to be doing a lot to get Mace to kind of relinquish that authority. He's like, all right, you might be able to throw in some wrinkles, but this is going to be my, you know what I mean, my D for the most part. And I'm guessing they probably have a lot of similarities in, what they call, the way they look at it, or else they probably wouldn't have hired him, right? So, and back to the one example, good example I'll give you about it, camp guys. Marcus Thigpen. Most Rider fans remember Marcus Thigpen. This is a story I tell sometimes, because he was kind of like just one of those guys that was so fast, but he was smooth, so people didn't really necessarily see it. So one day, I'm sitting in practice, because I was a vet by then, so they were doing special teams drills, and I was sitting there. And I'm watching special teams, and then Coach Miller, I'm sitting up there, Kid Miller and me are just kind of watching kickoff return. And I was like, man, Thigpen, man, that dude might be the fastest guy on the team. And he's like, you think? And I was like, nah, I know. I was like, maybe Dressler's quicker. And then there was a DB that was pretty fast. I can't think his name, but I was like, but for sure. And he was like, nah, I don't know. I don't see it. I was like, nah, he just is in cruise control. He's fast. And he's like, well, he needs to show it, right? And then we ended up releasing him. And then this dude goes to Hamilton and scores 5 different ways in 6 games. Ends up in the NFL for 5 seasons. So it's kind of just about your demeanor, you know what I mean? And how you present, that stuff is important.
Would you ever take that message to Marcus Thigpen himself, right?
I don't know if because I've talked to Thig. I don't know if I've ever told him that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he don't care. He ended up going to Buffalo. You know, he made out better in a lot of ways. He went to Buffalo, did his thing, you know, had a few years in the NFL, then came back, had some more fun in the CFL. He done written a book. Like, he's doing all right.
I'm going to go left field here real quick. So the Riders signed an offensive lineman, free agent. Oh, yeah, my mic is on. Have you played with or against a guy this big? Percy Lewis IV, 6'8", 380 pounds.
Whew.
How nice would that be to run behind that too? You know,
380.
Yeah,
I got to see him move, man. That sounds like he's just standing in the way.
Senior, played his senior season at Ole Miss, so he played SEC. Luke said he's never seen anyone that large, and he's not going to be caught standing next to him because he'll make him look small.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta watch some film, see how his feet are, see if he's got some. If he's got some feet, like if he can move at that size, I'm scared. Yeah, for real. I don't want to be no D lineman lining up against that, man. That's the type of dude that'll hurt you just falling on you or something. You know what I mean? Oh, another thing I was thinking about was like, what's AJ Olette going to do now that there's the real Thor?
Yeah.
Oh no, man!
What a great name! What a great name! I think we probably need to take a break here. Sorry, lost track of time there. So let's take a quick break. Back with the ticker in a second here. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
They've hired me to sell you Cooper tires. Presumably, I imagine it's because I sound important, which reflects rather well on the tires, doesn't it?
When your vehicle needs the right tires, see your local Cooper tire dealer. They carry Cooper Traction Command tires. They're built with off-road durability, but meant for on-road driving, and have the strength for daily drives through the city. Have your vehicle ready for the road before you are.
Visit your local Cooper tire dealer today, obviously.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Picture this, a crust so golden it could blind a superhero. Toppings piled higher than a stack of pancakes on a trampoline. Every bite, a flavor explosion. Every slice, a hug for your taste buds. Garlic, roasted to perfection. Pepperoni, perfectly spicy. Western Pizza is so good, you'll argue who gets the last slice. Western Pizza, dine in or take out today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport is the home of the Price Match Guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center, and online at extremehockey.net.
All right, round 2, NHL playoffs. Flyers in Carolina to face the Hurricanes right away here. Hurricanes up 1-0 in that series. Ducks taking on the Knights in Game 1 of that series as well, and that'll be in Sin City. The NHL have cleared Leafs' new GM, John Chayka, of tampering charge because they were investigating him. Apparently, he was speaking with another team without the franchise's approval. That was not, in fact, the case, or at least they didn't find anything to back that up. So he's cleared. Also, not only was he introduced to media today and Leafs fans, but also Mats Sandin, also new member of the Maple Leafs front office. MLB, you got the Toronto Blue Jays in Tampa Bay facing the Rays this afternoon here. That just got underway not too long ago. Eric Lauer on the mound for the Bluebirds. Riders added 4 Saskatchewan prospects to their training camp roster, including national running back Peter Borscht from the Regina Thunder, Corbin Eben of the Saskatoon Hilltops, and receiver Benjamin Walls of the Regina Thunder. And they also invited Jake Farrell to join them for their CFL quarterback internship program. Also signed 4 other players: Reed Hughes, Billy Jonas Pernier, Nathan Pickering, Carson Somback of the Rams as well. You'll recognize that name. And then they also signed 5 out of the 8 players the team selected in the draft next week. Our poll right now, which NHL first-round playoff upset is the most surprising? You can let us know by going to sportscage.com right now. On the other side of 5 o'clock, we will have Darian Durant swinging by. First, we got your news, so hang tight. It's a Sportscage 620 CKRM, streaming at sportscage.com.
Pack your bags and get ready for a trip of a lifetime. 620 CKRM and Kloss are giving you the chance to experience 6 unforgettable days in Germany. Enjoy a scenic Rhine River cruise, incredible food, local wine, and unforgettable nights taking in the culture, sights, and sounds of Germany. And yes, you'll also tour the Kloss World Headquarters and see how everything's built up close. Be listening to find out which sponsor locations you can enter at across southern Saskatchewan and catch chances to qualify during Saskag Today with Ryan Young. The grand prize draw happens this July at Ag in Motion. Don't miss your shot at the Kloss Germany trip giveaway on 620 CKRM.
Ever thought about working in another country? With International Rural Exchange Canada, you can. If you're between 18 and 35, have ag skills, and hold a Canadian passport, this is your chance. Head to Australia or New Zealand for harvest through the Away to Work program. Their experienced staff will help secure your job, accommodations, work permits, and everything in between. Work the world and earn while you learn at awaytowork.ca.
You can travel now, get away to work.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina auction is happening May 28th. Visit their website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used heavy equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
Producers have long trusted Louis Dreyfus Company Yorkton. If you need canola movement and competitive bids, now's the time to call LDC. Space available this spring with prices just over $16.50 per bushel. Plus, with their expansion, they now have 4 unloading pits to serve you better. LDC will paper blend moisture, green, and damaged. And the new driveway is open Monday to Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Louis Dreyfus Company, growing with your farm. Call 1-877-782-8882 or visit ldcyorkton.com.
Got a landscape project in mind this year, but not sure how to bring it together? Hi, I'm Sean from the Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. This is where projects get stuck, not knowing what to do first. That's what our project consult is for. We'll come out, walk the space with you, and help you build a clear plan. Whether you're doing it yourself or need a contractor, we'll point you in the right direction. Book your project consult today at therustyshovel.ca/consult. Great projects start at the shovel. The Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. 2 green thumbs up.
This week at Real Canadian Superstore, earn 30,000 PC Optimum points for every $100 spent on barbecue grills, grilling accessories, outdoor patio sets and furniture, outdoor rugs, camping items, and more. Conditions apply. Details at superstore.ca/flyer.
We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station. Streaming online at 620CKRM.com.
The news is brought to you by Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of Saskatchewan's biggest selection of Ram trucks and Jeeps. CrestviewChrysler.ca.
News is brought to you by Echo Sound in Fort Capel. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Call 306-332-6711.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Ryan Young from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News. Flooding in Saskatchewan has forced more communities to issue states of emergency. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says 15 communities have issued alerts, up from 3 last week due to additional flows over the weekend. Leah Clark with the Water Security Agency says flooding is primarily affecting rural areas in the province's northwest, northeast, and east central regions.
But once water is moving and this late in the spring, we anticipate that it will continue to move. So we've got to work with that in mind.
Tyler Harrison with the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says some communities have required some residents to evacuate, but he didn't provide details on their locations. Regina International Airport held its annual general meeting last Thursday. While there have been challenges in the price of jet fuel, Sask Today's John Cairns reports that those at the airport are still expressing optimism about the year ahead.
The war in the Middle East has wreaked havoc on airline travel around the world.
The high cost of jet fuel has led to airlines canceling a number of its flights. While Regina Airport has not been immune to the concerns, CEO James Bogus said they have not seen any immediate impacts beyond ticket prices appearing higher than usual. Bogus does expect the major airlines will tweak their routes to take costs into account.
But will airlines look for opportunities to build their balance sheet to ensure profitability? Absolutely. What that will mean potentially is you'll see trimming or tweaking of existing routes. Maybe an airline may not bring back a particular route that was popular or people thought was popular because it lacked profitability. That is absolutely possible. But we're talking about in percentages, small percentages, not dramatic swings. I don't predict any of that.
Despite the challenging times, Bogus doesn't expect any return to the number of cancellations seen during the COVID era. For SAS Today, I'm John Cairns.
The federal government is announcing $1.5 billion in tariff relief in response to the United States widening its tariff criteria last month. The announcement includes the creation of a new $1 billion program under the Business Development Bank of Canada. Industry Minister Melanie Joly says the new bank will make available 3-year, low-interest loans of up to $50 million to tariff-hit businesses.
Short term, our goal is to provide liquidities to companies in order for them to keep their workers. Medium term, what we're trying to do is really to help businesses adapt, pivot, try to get into new markets. And long term, what we're doing is we're building Canada strong.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon was also on hand to announce a $500 million top-up to the Regional Tariff Response Fund. And May 3rd to 9th has been proclaimed Missing Persons Week in Saskatchewan to honor missing people and support their families. The week was requested by the Saskatchewan Missing Persons Partnership and is marked each year. Justice Minister Tim McLeod says it is a time to reflect, raise awareness, and support loved ones. The partnership brings together government, police, Indigenous, and community groups. It works on awareness, prevention, and support services. Grants will help fund local events in Regina, Saskatoon, and Prince Albert. Information on events and supports will be shared by partner organizations across the province during the week. And that's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Weather is next.
It's Truck Month at Crestview, and yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Right now, our lot is stacked with trucks. The Hemi is back. Check out a 2026 Ram and get savings up to $20,000, or finance it for as low as 0% OAC. Or get a clear-out price on a brand new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee. We only got a few left, and they come with savings up to $15,000 or 0% financing OAC. This is your last chance at Truck Month, ending soon at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Picture this. You sit down to watch TV and suddenly your screen freezes harder than a triple axle. If you're ready for a smoother routine, Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has a better idea. Max TV Stream. More streaming, less buffering. A performance that actually sticks the landing. And while you're at it, glide into fast SaskTel internet and cell phone packages that are balanced, reliable, and make sense for your household. Smart entertainment, smart connectivity. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
Weather for Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street, Regina. And Kevin's Marine. Make the most of summer with a boat or pontoon from Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel. kevinsmarine.com.
Cloud cover, though, mixing with sunshine, and a temperature at 6 degrees. It is going to continue to be fairly breezy. The winds at times saw some really strong gusts yesterday, and at times they're still picking up through the afternoon today and into early on tonight. But the last check, the gusts are mostly in the 50 to 60 range, and they've actually been more on the lower end of that, too, for most of the day. 6 degrees is the high today. The always was noting that with the cooler temperatures, with the struggling to get into the out of the low single numbers in the morning, the sprinkles could just easily be flurries. We'll keep that thread in the forecast too, but still, no. The type doesn't matter. They're still not particularly measurable. Partly cloudy down to -3 tonight, and tomorrow partly sunny sky will get back up to around 6 degrees. So today, tomorrow, a little bit cool relative to average, which is mid to upper teens. We're running pretty far below, with the temperatures even below freezing. That is also below normal. Normal, we've made it up into normally positive numbers. So -3 tonight, -4 tomorrow. And then some improvement on that end as well. Both high and low come up for the second half of the week. Temperatures trend back toward normal, 11 degrees with a mostly sunny sky Wednesday, 14 Thursday, 18 Friday.
At Kevin's Marine, the lineup is stacked and ready. Legendary Lund boats built for serious fishing and non-stop family fun. Stretch out, crank the tunes, and cruise in style on a brand new pontoon from Bentley or Crest. Or drop the throttle and make waves in a 4-wind sport boat. All powered by trusted Mercury 4-stroke motors. Right now, manufacturer rebates, dealer discounts, and low payment financing. Make decking easy with Shoremaster aluminum docks and lifts. Visit Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel or kevinsmarine.com.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now next gen coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Smoke'em Diesel in Regina. So you want to do it yourself? No problem. We sell injection pumps, injectors, and turbos to fit all your needs. Find us on Facebook today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Thank you for taking the time. I'm Tegan Whitco, joined by Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Colson Schultz on the controls, keeping us on the air, 620 CKRM on the stream at sportscage.com, X, our YouTube as well. Join in the conversation at any point. 306-936-6262 is the Prairie Land Rentals text line. We've only gone off the rails maybe once or twice today. We did avoid having Wes get a parking ticket.
True.
That is all on Dave Thomas because he saved the day.
I'm really hoping for a clutch performer for that effort next week.
We have so many things that are going to happen between now and then. I'm sorry, you get the clutch performer right now. How about that, Dave?
You gave it to a beer skate.
The Monday edition of the Sports Cage is brought to you by Smoke'em Diesel. Are you a fix-it-yourself type of person? Smoke'em Diesel can supply you with injectors, injection pumps, turbos, and all diesel hard parts. Colson is killing himself laughing over there. And I do not... Oh, by the way, I also missed this in the sports ticker just before the 5 o'clock news. Lumsden, Saskatchewan's own Riley Schick signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats today. So, definitely...
Don't look now, but it's snowing outside.
Stop it.
No, I'm not kidding. There are flakes coming down.
Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. No, I'm just angry. Dan Croft Electric joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. I am so sorry, Dan. As I mentioned, we've talked conspiracy theories and we got off the rails with Wes Cates all last hour, and we did not call you on time.
No worries. I just looked out the window. I'm more worried about that snow he's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't see anywhere at the world headquarters of Croft Electric, so that means it's fake news. So.
Colson, that's all coming out on you.
May the 4th be with you, right? Isn't that today?
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it. But are you a Star Wars guy? Like, honestly.
Yeah, I grew up. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm more excited for tomorrow, but that's, Cinco de Mayo, and it lands on Taco Tuesday. Like, look at that. That's the clutch performer right there.
Okay. Crofty likes a good Taco Tuesday. I can appreciate that.
You betcha.
I hate to say this, but when it comes to work around my home, sometimes I rely on the Force to help me with my electrical problems. But I don't need to do that when I know a guy like Dan Croft and Croft Electric, because you can get us hooked up, set up, and make sure that preventative maintenance is done before we have to rely on the Death Star coming towards us.
The Force is strong in you. Yeah, for sure. No, don't rely on the Force when it comes to electrical around your home. Unfortunately, as much as you're sitting on the couch at home trying to wheel your readers into your hand or a beer into your hand, it just doesn't work. So give us a call and let the professionals take care of your electrical work. Sign up for our preferred customer program. Let us come out and do that 24-point inspection. Let us put you in our loyalty program. I trust me with once you get to meet our team, Amy and Cody and a lot of the techs, you won't go back. We pride ourselves on service, and we want to be most cost effective solution, which means that we'll get in, get out, fix your problem fast as possible.
Well, and this is that time of year, regardless of the alleged snow that might be falling in downtown Regina right now. I'm not sure. But it is that busy season, right? Every neighbor seemed to be out in their yard doing some type of work on Saturday. And I just want to make sure that we're clarifying this is not just commercial or farm or cabins, but also a lot of residential projects, right?
100%. Yeah. We have a full team that has experience in all aspects of electrical. We don't like to give up pieces of our trade. We want to be the ones that you call for everything, whether it's your home, your business, your farm, your cabin. But like you said, I know I was out, kicking dirt on the weekend, doing stuff, and starting to look at those projects for summer, for spring, for anyway. Now that things are starting to dry up, so now's the time to get us out. Let's have a coffee. We'll even bring the coffee and do an estimate for you. Figure out what you want to do, what that project is. And let's get ahead of it. Especially our farm friends that are all busy right now, getting those seeders ready and are just itching to get out in the field. And then they'll be sitting in the tractors for hours on end. That's when the mind starts to wander to all those little summer projects. Well, think of us and give us a call and let's take that off your plate.
Crofty, Dan Croft, Croft Electric. Another reason to give him a call, because there is that adult peer pressure. Once all the projects and renos start happening in your neighborhood, you want to make sure that you have everything ready to go, and Crofty is there to help you out. So give us that phone number again.
306-586-1333.
Dan Croft, appreciate this as always. Thanks so much.
Have a great day.
You too. Joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline, as always, of course, perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love. At this time of the day, we do also like to reach out to our pal, the one and only Darian Durant.
It's time for Double Talk with Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Darian Durant. Double Talk is brought to you by Dutch Agriculture. Precision in every pass and consistent depth and better yield. Visit DutchOpeners.com. On farm for you.
Double Talk with Darian Durant, joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Well, hey, thanks for doing this, Darian. You're in the car. You're driving somewhere.
Yeah, I'm home in South Carolina. Came down here for a week to be with my mother for Mother's Day. So, have to do this remote today.
Okay, number one, I originally thought you were in Wes Cates' car, being the great teammate you are, to avoid him getting a parking ticket. But number two, wow, have you raised the bar on Mother's Day, Darian?
Look, man, I don't get a chance to be with my mom that much, so I had a little bit of free time. My mother-in-law is back in Florida with the wife and kids, so gave me a little bit of break from babysitting. So, just took advantage of some time off and could get home and be with my mom a little bit. So I hope I didn't raise the bar too high. I don't think so. I just got lucky that my mother-in-law came to town, so I'll put that on luck.
Okay. I can appreciate that, making the rest of us look bad, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? Can I just, for just a moment, I thought it was pretty cool when you were inducted into the Plaza of Honor. You took a real long moment to salute your mom and the things that you did. So with Mother's Day coming up this weekend, tell me about your mom.
She's special. I mean, unfortunately, her and my father, they divorced when I was about 6 years old. And, I have two other brothers as well. So it's three boys. And, she sacrificed everything, made sure we got to practice. We all play multiple sports. So, we were able to just make practice every single week, the games, equipment. I mean, you name it, she just provided it for us. And not only that, just the support. I mean, just someone to talk to whenever we were down. Everything wasn't always perfect, but she was just super, super supportive on and off the field. And she made us get our act together in the classroom as well. So she's the number one reason why we all were successful, not only in sports, but off the field as well. So, I just can't thank her enough. And she's my everything for sure.
She sounds like a fantastic woman. I hope that you're going to spoil her like crazy while you're there.
Yes, this is her week. It's a week-long thing, so not just on Sunday.
See, cool. That's how it's done. That is how it's done. So let's talk a little bit of CFL right now. I'm assuming that you saw the changes that were announced last Tuesday. playoff format shifting. Season's going to start a bit sooner. So I guess just your initial reaction, Darian, when you saw the new structure of the CFL playoffs and what you think about it.
Well, I was kind of torn. I mean, from the business side, I think it's amazing. You don't have to worry about teams resting players or, there's important games all throughout the season and especially going into the playoffs. So, I mean, you want the fans' attention to be locked in the entire season. You don't want empty stadiums in the last weeks of the stadiums, given that your team may either be out of the playoffs or a team is resting guys. So you want full support for the entire season. So I get that from a business perspective. But from a player's perspective, you want that bye. You want that rest. You want to work hard all season long to be able to save guys who may be a little bit nicked up and you work hard all season to get that opportunity to have the first seed, the automatic Western final or home game. So there's some things that you work for during the season that you may not be able to get now with the new format. But so that just makes me kind of torn about it. And like I said, being a little bit older now and understanding the business side, new commissioner, he wants to keep the engagement up. He wants to keep fans locked in for the entire season. I understand it from that angle as well. So I'm kind of torn. I'm basically 50-50 on it.
Coming up on Wednesday, the start of rookie camp. First-year players are going to report. Jeremy O'Day has told a story about the first time that he reported at Toronto Argonauts camp, pardon me, and he had a piece of duct tape on the back of a chair with O'Day on it. And he said that was his welcome. Do you remember your first rookie or first-year players camp?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. There was hail, rain, just inclement weather the entire camp for the most part. Being that it was in May and being from the South, you don't expect it to be cold. You don't expect to have hail. So I really thought that I would have a hard time making the team because as a quarterback, you have to throw, right? You need some good weather to go out there and show what you can do. So, it was just a rude awakening. But luckily, I was able to, when it came time for the preseason game, the weather cleared up a little bit and I was able to put a little bit of my skills on display. But yeah, man, I'll never forget it because, it's May. It's usually hot where I'm from. And then I get to Saskatchewan, it's cold and it's hailing and raining every single day. So it's definitely something I'll never forget.
So you obviously have to make plays to make that impression. What else do you have to do to catch the coach's eye to advance to main camp and beyond?
At quarterback is a combination of things. Me being a more mobile guy at the time, for sure. It's about running around. It's about showing the coaches that you can be elusive. You can get out of sacks that the defensive line always claims that they have in practice. I mean, it's just a handful of things you have to do. So, like I said, I was very nervous because I couldn't really throw. It was a new ball that I was dealing with the CFL football. New teammates, receivers, guys who you want to build that chemistry during camp, right? And then if you can't throw, you're out there running the ball pretty much every play. So you can't really put your skills on display. So I was very nervous going into that preseason game, just hoping that I could leave a lasting impression on the coaching staff.
So what do you have to do in that preseason game? Is it as simple as moving the ball, or is it showing that you can execute the play even though your teammates around you may not be at that same execution level?
Well, first and foremost, you have to show that you have a grasp of the offense, right? You have to show that mentally you're where you need to be. You're in control. There's always a saying that if you don't know what you're doing, then you can't play fast. So the main thing is getting down the playbook, making sure you're mentally right. And once you have that part down, now you can just be free and put your skills on display and let your athleticism or whatever position you play, just let it take over. So, if I could give any piece of advice to the rookies, it would be make sure you're in that playbook each and every day. Make sure you understand what's going on so that when it's time to get out there, either on the practice field or in the preseason games, you can just play free and you can just go out there and do what you've been doing your entire life to get you to this point.
Now, it isn't like players are going to show up on Wednesday, though, and get the first ever version of the playbook, right? They'll have had it in advance for X amount of time, correct?
Yeah, with technology these days, you get it in your email. You get an ebook basically of all the plays, or at least an introduction to the system and to the offense. So you pretty much the entire winter and spring to kind of figure out what's going to be implemented, and of course the entire playbook is not out there on day one, but you definitely get a basic or dumbed down version for the most part of things you can expect going into rookie camp. So like I said, with technology, it's a lot easier to get ahead and kind of get an understanding of what you're going to face when it comes time to for day one of rookie camp.
So for a player coming in as a rookie, how important is that balance, especially when it comes to eagerness and confidence when you're on the field?
Yeah, you're going to want to go out there and just try to make the home run play, or show the coaches that, you can put the ball in the end zone, because that's what it's all about, right? If you don't score points, then you can't win, or you can't at least give yourself a chance to win. So a lot of guys are going to come in and they're just going to try to make the big play. If you're a DB, you want an interception instead of showing that you can cover. If you're a receiver, you want to run before you catch the ball. So it's all about fundamentals, making sure that you can really just not try to do too much, but just show that you can make the play that you need to make. And then once you can do that, then you show that you're a real playmaker, and you can either take a pick to the house, or you can throw a long bomb for a touchdown, or if you're a receiver, make the spectacular catch. So it is a tough balance. It really is. But for the most part, you really just need to show that you understand the game, you understand what's going on, and then you show your playmaking ability.
Darian Durant, because there's an odd number of teams in the league, the preseason is a unicorn in the Canadian Football League. So the Roughriders are going to practice for 2 weeks, play 2 games in the span of 5 days, have another week of training camp, and then a bye week, then the regular season starts. What I'm getting at is, with you being the veteran that you were, was there like a mental checklist that you had to go through to make sure that you were prepared from training camp into the start of that regular season, while other guys are being evaluated, but still needing to be sure that you were ready?
Yeah, it's tough because the preseason is so short, and then with you being a vet, that you haven't been tackled in 6 months. You haven't hit the ground. You have to really be ready for the physical part of the game as well. It's so tough. And then with the reps, you're going to get a lot of the reps, but also the younger guys are going to want some of those reps and get some of those reps, because they're the ones that are going to be playing in the preseason games for the most part. So it's definitely a tough balance. But I wanted to get out there in the preseason and get hit, kind of hit the ground a little bit, brace myself, for some of the bigger guys that are going to be falling on you, or the hits you're going to take where you hit the ground. So that's the tough part, is the tackling. You can't tackle in CFL especially in training camp. You can't tackle. Your first full-time contact is going to be in the preseason games, and then your full go on week 1. So you have to try to find that balance, and hopefully, with Saskatchewan being such a veteran team, some of the guys can kind of get out there and get a few reps in the preseason, not too many to where you put yourself at risk, at high risk, because every time you step out there, you're at risk. But you got to start hitting the ground. You got to feel some of those hits. You have to be in the physical type condition to endure a full season. So it's definitely a tough balance. And I hate it for the coaches, because you want your starters to get out there, you want your vets to get out there, but you also want to have them healthy. So it's a tough position to be in.
It fascinates me in conversations with you, Darian, and Trevor Harris as well, in just hearing what you see during a play. Is there a training camp for your eyes or your mental ability to understand what is being presented in front of you?
I think more than anything, it's about the speed, right? When you're out there and you're just training and you're throwing to receivers on air, you just can't emulate the speed of actual practice. You can't emulate, guys being held and jerseys being tugged when it comes to a DB being out there because there's no pads on during the off season. So more than anything for your eyes, I think you have to just get back used to the speed of the game, speeding yourself up a little bit, maybe your footwork, having to speed that up. And then, of course, in the off season, you can never emulate, 4 or 5 blitzers coming at you or defensive linemen coming at you. That's the tough part as well. Your throwing lanes, your different arm angles, different things like that you're going to have to switch up that you can't really train for during the off season. So, it's definitely different. But I think for Trevor being at this young age that he is right now, he's seen it all. He's been in every single situation. So the main thing for him is just to get out there and get the speed of the game down pat and get back in cohesiveness with the receivers.
When you were at this point in your career, the same as Trevor Harris, were you a good training camp participant, like eager, 100% ready to go all the time? Or were there times where maybe... it's the preseason. It's training camp. I'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that towards the end of my career. It's the preseason, not really worried about the reps. I wish I would have approached it a lot differently, though, because, the older you get, your reps are limited now. That, sooner rather than later, your career will be over. So you want to enjoy it. You want to get as many reps as you can. And then coming off of a Grey Cup like Trevor, you want to get back into that rhythm, get back with the guys. So you want as many reps as you can get because, being in a position to defend to go back to back, to defend your championship is rare. And, this is a hell of an opportunity for those guys. So I'm sure they're eager to just get back together and get out there and pretty much pick up where they left off last year.
As we look at the roster and the way it's constructed heading, out of the off season, what interests you the most when we look at training camp and everybody who's going to be on the field? What group is catching Darian Durant's attention?
Well, I want to see the D-line. I think that when you lose Micah Johnson and you lose Malik Carney, you're losing not only 2 veterans and leaders, but you're losing a lot of production. So I'm eager to just see the D-line, the pressure that they can somehow get on these opposing quarterbacks and, just see how they go. I think the offense will be fine. You pretty much have everyone returning, so I think that they'll be fine. But I'm anxious to see, what J.O. did in this offseason and see if we can get that pass rush back to where it needs to be.
How would Darian Durant performed behind, let's just say, Percy Lewis IV? 6'8", 380 or 90 pounds, depending on who you ask.
Man, I would love it, first and foremost, having that massive of a man in front of me protecting me. That would make it that much harder for these defensive linemen to get through. But with me being on the shorter side, I think Trevor may be about 6'1". He's a little bit taller than me. I would just hope that he doesn't get in my way and I miss a touchdown pass or I miss a wide open receiver because, luckily I didn't have to play behind a guy like that where I had to worry about seeing. But from a protection aspect, I think that that's good to have. You always want more and more protection the older you get. So I'm looking forward to see how he performs and to see if he can, provide that protection for Trevor and open up some lanes for A.J. Ouellette and those other backs.
Mitch Picton announced his retirement, a good Regina receiver. The stat that jumped off the page was the analytics that he didn't drop a catchable pass. So anything deemed catchable in his direction, he caught. How incredible is that?
That's amazing. It's so easy to lose focus. It's so easy to, turn around and think you're going to run before you catch the ball. So that just shows that he's locked in each and every play. He just did such a great job, whether he was the primary target or not. He played at 100% each and every time, never complained. And even when, he was a healthy scratch, he was always ready the next week when needed. So just a true professional, man, and congrats to Mitch. I think he had a hell of a career, and to be able to play in his hometown for his entire career, that's special. So congrats to him, and he had a hell of a run, and, best wishes to him moving forward.
Well said. I think that we got to take a break here, though, Darian, and we have to let you go. Get back to visiting with your mom.
Thank you, man. Always good talking to you guys.
Well, thanks so much. Darian Durant joining us, of course, every Monday on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. We appreciate the time, as always. Double Talk with Darian Durant, brought to you by Dutch Agriculture. For consistent depth, better yield, and precision where it counts, visit DutchOpeners.com. Dutch Agriculture, on farm for you. So, we should take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to do Sprinkle, and then we have our next guest that's going to be joining us, Curtis Hunt, General Manager of the Prince Albert Raiders. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a few. It's a Sports Cage on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
To celebrate CKRM's 100th anniversary, we're honoring the icons who helped shape this station into what it is today. Our next 620 CKRM icon inductee, Colin Lovequist. Here's a behind-the-mic moment with Colin Lovequist.
That was like going from the minors to the majors, because I had known Perry Nias prior to that, because we were in rotisserie baseball league, so we always talked baseball all the time. And he said, we got an opening coming up here, you should apply. And I threw the resume in and the tape, and it wasn't very long after that I got the phone call from Willie and came into the big city, and nervous as you know what, but everybody talks about CKRM back in the day, and everybody where I came from listened to 620 CKRM or 980 at the time, and it was the call you always wanted to get. You were waiting for if you were in radio. The country music giant, 620 CKRM, so that was a very special call, and got up here, and boy, you're only as good as those you surround yourself with, and we were surrounded by really good staff.
To hear the full extended interview, visit our 100th year page at 620ckrm.com or sastoday.ca.
Hi, it's Perry Nias. I'm glad you're listening, because this station, 620 CKRM, turns 100 this year, riding shotgun through harvest, highways, and home games, which means somewhere along the way, you've got a story. Whatever it is, we want to hear it. Leave a voicemail at 306-546-6230. 620 CKRM, 100 years young and just getting warmed up.
Remember Bill in high school? $2,000 car, $7,000 stereo.
Now he's got a $700,000 drill, $2,000 worth of scrap iron for openers.
Morning. That drill may be fancy, but worn tips can lead to inconsistent depth and potentially lost yield. A fancy drill alone does not equal accurate seating.
Fancy drill, cheap openers. Don't be the new Bill. Talk to Andrew or your local Dutch dealer. Dutch Agriculture, precision where it counts. Visit DutchOpeners.com. Dutch Agriculture, on farm for you.
They've hired me to sell you Cooper tires. Presumably, I imagine it's because I sound important, which reflects rather well on the tires, doesn't it?
When your vehicle needs the right tires, see your local Cooper tire dealer. They carry Cooper Discoverer Stronghold tires. They grip on many different surfaces, including tough dirt and gravel, and stands up to heavy loads and long highway hauling. Have your vehicle ready for the road before you are.
Visit your local Cooper tire dealer today, obviously.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina auction is happening May 28th. Visit their website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used heavy equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
If you're thinking about a landscape project but not quite sure where to start, hi, I'm Sean from the Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop. That's why we built this place. We help you make the right calls, from choosing materials to understanding how it goes together, so your project turns out the way you want. Whether it's paving stones, retaining walls, or irrigation, our team will help you get it right the first time. Stop by our showroom on the East Vic Service Road, or visit therustyshovel.ca. Great projects start at the shovel. The Rusty Shovel Landscape Shop.
This is Sportscage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage, brought to you by Smoke'em Diesel. I'm Tegan Whitco, joined by Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Colson Schultz on the controls, keeping us on the air and on the stream. 620 CKRM. You can also find us wherever you you find audio podcasts as well as video podcasts. So that's sportscage.com, YouTube. You can also find us on, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever the kids are using these days. We had many good conversations, and the podcast, of course, brought to you by Freeze Tallman Lumber. Joel Lipinski helped us kick off the show earlier today, Canada men's national flag football defensive coordinator. There was a selection camp in Winnipeg this weekend, so we talked about that a little bit. Wes Cates, he hung out with us for a solid hour, and Dave Thomas effectively helped him avoid a parking ticket because he's just a good person like that.
Thought it was a clutch myself. Clutch performer right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Clutch performer. We'll go with that. See? Colson's gotcha. All right, so we talked to him about a number of things, including the change to the CFL playoff format, the upcoming, the draft that just took place, and then, of course, rookie camp kicks off this week up in Saskatoon for the Riders, and then main camp will launch shortly after that. We are getting so close to some preseason CFL action, and Darian Durant as well.
Yep.
Visiting his mom. He's coming in clutch, too. He is spoiling her.
That is a clutch performer.
I'm really spoiling her this week, and I love that. So if you missed any of those discussions, you can always go back and listen, as I mentioned. So Curtis Hunt, general manager of the Eastern Conference champion Medicine Hat Tigers. We're going to try to get him on the line here right away, and we can chat about that in just a little bit. But you know what? I figured quickly, let's see what the Jays score is at. I don't know. We have so many TVs in here, and we don't have that game on. We just have
They're losing 3-1.
Bottom of the fourth.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's not ideal.
Yeah.
It's just not ideal.
Yeah. It's a tough start for Eric Lauer. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know what? It was 3-0. The Jays are coming back. Their offense somewhat scares me a little bit from time to time. The Philadelphia Flyers were in front of the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1. But Philadelphia opened the scoring 2-0. We're leading 2-0 in that ball game, or that hockey game.
In that ball game? It's okay. I've never made any mistakes on this show before.
Been a day.
Yeah, it's been a Monday.
Yep, for sure.
That's the one thing. Maybe we should take a peek at Sprinkle of the Day. Let's do that. I know that we can't sprinkle on a couple of the games because they've already begun, but it is brought to you by Sports Select. Getting in on more of the sports action, it's really easy. Go to the website, sportselect.com, make your picks, get your QR code, go to your local Lotto Spot retailer, and they'll hook you up. They'll get you done. Taken care of. Every bet 100% legal. You got a chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus. Play responsibly. Let's see. What do we have going on here? Ducks, Golden Knights. Ooh. Over under 6. So.
Ooh, you know what?
To tie.
Okay, so the over under, right? So both teams can score. They've proven that in the postseason.
Yeah.
Anaheim has also proven they can't defend, despite what the Edmonton Oilers might tell you. So
I'm going to go over.
I'm with you. I think that's a good call.
I think I'm going to go over on that one. Are we going to do a pro line here? I might even go tie. This one might go over. Toti.
Yeah, I could see that.
What do you
think?
think?
I would agree.
Okay, so let's do a little sprinkle on tie. Yeah, I like that. Pretty decent value.
Mm-hmm.
Who's winning that series? Should we take a peek at futures really fast? See what those are looking like?
You can pick the draft lottery winner. Canucks have the best chance, but we know they won't win because they can't win anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so 3.5 are the odds on the Canucks. Blackhawks, 6. Rangers at 7. See, the Flames are higher up in this list than the percentage that I was pulling up earlier today.
Well, as we've already established, Tegan, you and your conspiracy theories, the New York Rangers are number 3.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's important that the Rangers are successful in the National Hockey League, being the New
Gary
York Rangers.
Bettman's hometown team.
Just saying that it would make a lot of sense.
I said it. You're off the hook.
Thank you.
Said it.
I was just saying, right?
I wasn't putting words in your mouth or anything. Okay, Vegas, Anaheim. Ooh, I'd take action at 6 games, I think.
6 games? You know, I think Anaheim kind of went ahead and spent everything that they had, if you know what I mean, getting by Edmonton.
I don't know if they... I know, you're probably right.
I would think that I would take Vegas in my own world to win that series, and I don't know that it goes much more than 5 games.
I think it goes 6. So... You and I could each do our own separate sprinkle.
I read one analyst telling me that that series is such a mismatch that Vegas will win it in 3.
See, but I also think that Vegas has got some tired legs too.
They do, and I'm really questioning Carter Hart in goal as well.
I mean, there's been a large chunk of people who've been questioning that since he came to Vegas. Went to Vegas.
Yeah.
After he was able to be reinstated.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I think, I'm still going to be taking, obviously, Vegas, but I do think it goes 6. I think it's going to be a little bit messy, but that's sometimes the best hockey to watch.
I would, you know what, I would go with you.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with you.
So I've convinced you?
Very valid points. Yes, you have convinced me.
Okay.
That's where I would bet your money.
No, we're betting Wes Cates' money, the money he saved by not having to pay a parking ticket. We can call him up, right?
True.
He'd help us out. Okay, that is your sprinkle of the day. Yes, you can bet on futures as well as we just did. So if you want to bet on a series or Stanley Cup in general, maybe you want to sprinkle a little action on NASCAR or Super Bowl as we get closer. NBA final. Still time.
WWE.
WWE. I hate that you can bet on that. Anywho, that was your Sports Select sprinkle of the day. I'm assuming we're ready to head out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Colson. So, Western Pizza Guest Hotline joining us now, Curtis Hunt, General Manager of the now Eastern Conference champion Prince Albert Raiders. That's got to sound pretty good, doesn't it, Curtis?
That sounds fantastic. And hello, guys. Thank you for bringing me out today.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you just won the conference, so I'm happy that you made time for us. Jeez. How was that trip back home for the team?
Well, the team left a little later than we did because it's a little bit like hunting. When the game drops, the fun stops. So a lot of logistics here, just getting ready to get to Everett this week. So we got up pretty early, myself and Mike Sissons, our business manager, and headed back to try to get everything in order. So it's as seamless as possible for the coaches and the players in the next couple of days.
Can you tell me a little bit about that series? Got off to the great start, game number 1, game 2, game 3. Again, a little bit of a misfortune, I thought, in game 3 maybe a little bit. But what was your take on the series as a whole?
Well, we've got a team. We're playing a team, one, they've been there. So they're seasoned in terms of understanding a series, understanding, it's every shift. It's, what 5 seconds can either cost you or hurt you. And I like the way we approached the series. I think we obviously came out in game 1 firing on all cylinders, maybe took a step back in game 2, but really game 2, it was a 2-0 game. We had a power play with 10 minutes left in the third, had some great chances, and then, gave up an empty netter, another one, and then a goal that didn't matter in the end. And the 5-0 score, I don't think reflected that game at all. I agree. Maybe let one get away in game 3 in Medhat, the overtime game. But that's the way that team, they've got some, obviously elite defensemen. Like Pickford scored 48 goals or 49 or whatever the number was. And Jonas Wu is a 32-minute player. I don't think the kid ever gets tired. It's just something to watch them play. It's always better to watch them play when it's not against your team. But our guys stuck with it. Found a way to stay with our game. We bent at times. Certainly, they never quit on us in the last 2 games. Whether it was in PA, we were up 3 going into the third. And they made it a 1-goal game, and again, even last night, they did not go quietly into the night. And I thought it was a great series, a great learning experience for our group. And I'm grateful for that opportunity that we had to get there, and we're really excited now about the next challenge.
So, Game 5. At least from a fan perspective, did kind of feel like a bit of a turning point, specifically when you see Owen Korkish have that massive breakout game, WHL Rookie of the Week, first WHL career hat trick. What have you seen in his development that led him to that breakout moment?
Before, when we started the year, actually I met him and his dad and his brother in the summer, actually. They were coming to see a Rider game, we met in Regina, and I told him at the time, I said, I'll give you a fair opportunity to make our club and coming in. And his dad is from southwest Saskatchewan, so his dad understood the league, and I think he played a little bit in Melville as a young man, so understood Saskatchewan, understood our league a little bit. And Owen, he came in, and he's probably one of the hardest working kids we've seen through our program, at least in my tenure. And we started the season, he actually started on that top line, and unfortunately, we lost Gorzinski, who was on that top line, but it was very seamless for us because before we made the moves, Owen was playing with Orion and with Doobie, and he stepped right in, and his tenacity, his work ethic, he goes to tough areas, and he was rewarded, and it couldn't have happened at a better time for us. Certainly a great moment for him as a player, and it didn't really surprise me because he's a kid that gets opportunities just on that work and that compete and that commitment to play the right way, the 200-foot game every single day.
If I was asked to describe the Prince Albert Raiders in the Eastern Conference Final in a word, the word that I would use, Curtis Hunt, was composure, because it always seemed like everything was meticulous and detailed and never seemed to get away with emotion or anything else that can happen in the course of a series. Would you agree or have a different word?
I think that's really fair, and I think you got to tip our hats to Ryan McDonald and Cole Bell and Connor Yanni, our coaching staff, how they manage our players' fatigue off the ice. They've got great support staff around them in the trainers and the fitness and the sports psych area of the game. But I think those guys have created an environment where the kids can have success, yet they can play that structured game as well as they have enough confidence in each other and in the structure and their own abilities that we never really did get rattled, and that's probably a real fair point by you. So I also got to credit our leadership. Our guys, they're Raiders. Our 20-year-olds were Raiders from the time they were 17, moving on, and they really took it to heart what it meant to play here at the Art Hauser, to be part of a small community, and every single day we were in every single game, and you're never going to win every game, but certainly we were in every game, and so it really credits back to a great group effort, but it always starts with your coach.
This is going to sound a little bit ridiculous, but the truth sometimes hurts. When we were remodeling our kitchen, we had an idea of what we wanted it to be at the end of it, and we had the plans put on paper with how we thought it would go. I bring this back to the trade deadline and the moves that you made. And again, no move is easy, but you obviously had a game plan and a blueprint for what you wanted it to look like. Is that what your team looks like?
I guess the easy answer is to say, absolutely. I think we all strive to get to this opportunity. I think it really goes back before that. When we finished the year, we had the WHL goalie of the year in Max Hildebrand. We'd captured a pennant in the last week of the season, last season, and we had an unbelievable come-from-behind series win, 3-1. We were down to Edmonton, found a way to win, and then Medicine Hat sent us home last year. And we had a lot of questions going into this year, losing some key players, some scoring defensemen. Where were we going to be? Who was going to be our team? And it probably started, I thought we did a really good job in the import draft with Michael Orsolak, probably the key guy. And then, of course, big Matches man and young Sarkinoff, the left winger. And those three guys, import players are difficult because sometimes it takes a while to adapt to culture, language, food, time zone. You're away from home. You're away from your support system. I think a lot of times we have a lot of expectation on these players to adapt very quickly because they're a little bit older. But in our particular case, those three kids came in, and I think they all contributed Well, obviously, Orsolak, I think most of Canada knows who he is, and certainly we were proud of that Raider mask. Unfortunately, beat Canada to send us to the bronze medal game, but those guys came in and played with composure right away, and then our veterans took over. And we talked about Corka. She jumped in on the top line and filled the hole. We had too many 20-year-olds, which became a real difficult decision for us. And it's one of those things where you're like, geez, we're right there. And I think being that close, I think really as a hockey operations staff, we said, I think we have an opportunity here. Let's throw a line in the water and see what's available. And so we were able to pick up McKegarty, who's just a good, hard-nosed, two-way player. He can play in all situations. Gorzinski from Calgary, I thought he had an unbelievable playoff last year. And then of course, Braden Coots, a World Junior player and a first-rounder and a signed player. And those guys came in. They fit in seamlessly. They came without egos. And they came with a workman mentality, and they fit right into the group. And so I guess to relate back to the kitchen, sometimes the plan works like you really believe it should. And maybe it even goes back to a few years when we picked Daxon Rudolph number one and then Riley Boychuk with two huge goals last night, including the game winner. That number, I think it was 2 or 3 now, I can't even remember. But and then, of course, with young Cripps, the defenseman as well. And of course, young Harvey. And all those kids contributed throughout the season and, of course, through the playoffs as well.
Okay, before Tegan's quick question, just for the record, I put the hinges on backwards on the cupboard, just so you know.
Okay, so yeah.
And this is why we hire professionals.
Don't pinch your fingers there. Careful.
So it has been one heck of a ride so far throughout this season, Curtis, and I know the WHL final starts this Friday in Everett. What's the biggest challenge that awaits your group?
I think the first thing is just the emotion. It's a tremendous building. It's got a great atmosphere. They've got great fans in Everett. It's going to be packed. It's, I believe, their first visit since their inaugural season to a league final. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't read the articles. But there's going to be a ton of energy. You want to get in that first game and you want to get a hit or a pass or get a shot on goal or a chip or just get through that first shift and then settle into our game. I think that'll be the biggest thing. As you guys mentioned, I think we've played with a ton of maturity all year. We've got great leadership. It's kind of weathering the storm early. They've been sitting there. They're chomping at the bit. They're well rested. They're probably more than healthy and ready to go. And I think we just have to try to match that energy right away and, get through that first few minutes of the game and then get settled into playing the way we play and what gives us the most success.
Well, like I said, it's been a heck of a ride. Curtis Hunt, general manager of the Prince Albert Raiders. We got to let you go, but all the best in the final. And, we're going to be watching from afar.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. And then next Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back at the Hauser. Watch that 50-50, guys.
We will be. Thank you so much for this, Curtis.
You bet. Have a great weekend.
You too. Of course, Curtis Hunt joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. We got to take a break. We'll be back on the other side with a quick look at your sports ticker. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
They've hired me to sell you Cooper tires. Presumably, I imagine, it's because I sound important, which reflects rather well on the tires, doesn't it?
When your vehicle needs the right tires, see your local Cooper tire dealer. They carry Cooper Cobra Instinct tires. They bring your car to a shorter stop on wet roads and have decisive maneuvering and sporty performance. Have your vehicle ready for the road before you are.
Visit your local Cooper tire dealer today, obviously.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Picture this, a crust so golden it could blind a superhero. Toppings piled higher than a stack of pancakes on a trampoline. Every bite, a flavor explosion. Every slice, a hug for your taste buds. Garlic, roasted to perfection. Pepperoni, perfectly spicy. Western Pizza is so good, you'll argue who gets the last slice. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. Powered by Prairie Land Rentals. From power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need for your job. 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Philadelphia Flyers, Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes up in that series 1-0. The score right now, Flyers up 2-1 at the end of the first. Anaheim Ducks, Vegas Golden Knights go at it tonight in Game 1 of the series at 7:30 from Sin City. MLB, the Jays are in Tampa taking on the Rays. Eric Lauer started on the mound. And where are we at right now? 3-1 Tampa Bay, end of the fifth. Just went to commercial. Yeah. Okay, Saskatchewan Roughriders have been busy adding 4 Saskatchewan products to the training camp roster today. One of them being Jake Farrell as a CFL quarterback internship program attendee. And then Peter Borsch, Corbin Eben, and Benjamin Walls. They also added a couple of other players here. Nathan Pickering, Billy Jonas Pernier, Reed Hughes, Carson Sombach, and 5 of the 8 players the team selected in the draft last week. Also, Riley Schick, Lumsden, Saskatchewan's own, has signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And that is a look at your sports ticker for Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Thank you so much for joining in the conversation on the Prairie Land Rentals text line throughout the afternoon. I do know that Roscoe was appreciating the chaos that was our conversation.
Yeah.
I think specifically with Wes Cates. But if you missed any of it, you can always go back, listen to it in podcast form, video, audio, wherever you get your podcasts. It is thanks to Freeze Tallman Lumber. Thank you, Dave Thomas, for coming along for the ride. I know that you're going to be up in Saskatoon for the foreseeable future, covering Rider training camp as we get into the preseason. So thank you, as always, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Colson Schultz, for keeping us on the air. You guys are both clutch performers. You know that?
Oh, thanks.
Everybody gets a playoff spot. Everybody, you might as well get a clutch performer. The Monday edition of the Sports Cage, brought to you by Smoke 'Em Diesel. Signing off for the night. Thanks for taking the time and joining us. The Sports Cage on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan-owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI-accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street, rmpchevrolet.com.
He's gaining on us! Quick, let's hide in the garage.
No! It's stuck! Again!
You said you fixed it!
I meant to. I just never called Busy Bee Doors.
Lift it! Hurry, lift it!
It won't